Nerdy Neo on the mic tells a story. Open mic, a world of digital glory. Talking quests and pixelated dreams. Gamers journey on the mainstream. Open mic with a gaming twist. Press start and raise your fist. From consoles all to new. Every game a brand new crew. Week by week a new guest appears. Sharing love for gaming through the years. Button mashing tales of late night kills. Level up, adrenaline thrill. Open mic with a gaming twist. Press start and raise your fist. From consoles old to new. Every game a brand new crew. From pixel art to high-end screens. Open worlds and cutscenes. Neil's questions deep they go. Discovering every game in tow.
What's up? Hello. Welcome to another episode of Open Mic. That intro always gets me super amped and ready to go. Shout out again to Nerd Slap for making that for me. He does great work. And he's working on some other intros for me. I'm very much looking forward to seeing what he's got cooking up in his kitchen. But tonight we got a returning open mic guest coming back. I spent a few days with this guy in Vegas last week, and he's here to make it up to me. What's up, Paul? How's it going?
I am so sorry. How is everyone doing? Oh my god. Yeah, I never gonna that one's never gonna get let down. I'm never gonna, god damn it. Oh,
Never
sorry.
gonna give you up?
No swear.
You try to rickroll me? Never gonna give you up.
Never
No.
gonna let you.
So
Yeah,
for anyone who isn't aware, so last week we were in Vegas. We had a blast, had a good time. And Paul was supposed to be on Party Chat on Wednesday morning, and he overslept. And Static and I were both trying to get in touch with him. And it's like, I gotta go. And then he woke up like minutes after Static left. So
yeah.
he had to come on open mic and make it up.
It just it stinks because when I talked to Static afterwards, he was like, it's like, I saw your text, but I was already 5 minutes out, and I did, we were already kind of running late, so I didn't want to let Neo down like that. And I'm like, no, it's all good. He's like, but when we got there was some technical difficulties that lasted about 5 or so minutes. So I was like, if I would have turned around and got you right then and there, you probably would have made it. But you know what? What happens and couldn't happen any other way.
Yeah,
And
it was a bit hectic that morning, and we didn't. I thought we were going to have more time, and I didn't think it was going to be that difficult to get going. I figured it'd be, kind of like how it is now, where I've got everything in front of me, and I had nothing in front of me. If I didn't bring my phone or my iPad, I wouldn't have been able to even see chat because the computer was off to the side. So it was a bit. Well, I'm not sure what the word I'm looking for. Chaotic, little chaotic.
Yeah.
But it was a fun episode of Party Chat.
Yeah.
Fortunately, Paul has been on both Party Chat and Open Mic before, but he missed his opportunity to be on another Party Chat. And I think he would have tied for most Party Chat guests.
Have
Possibly.
I been in?
I'll have to go and look because I'm pretty sure you've been on twice. That would have been your third time, and I think James has been on 3 times before as well.
Oh, right. Yeah.
For guests, Carl
Yeah.
would not count because he was a guest, but then he became co-host. So
That's
obviously he's been on a lot of episodes.
I was gonna say. I'm like, I thought Carl has the most. He's got the most for that. He's the most for top 5 guest. Carl's a legend.
Yeah, and Lowest Expectations has been on a lot of them lately as well. So, But Donna Mutilation is in chat, which I just learned what that meant just last week. I was like, what is '07? I was like, so this was like '02, like Oxford or something. It's like it's a little like salute. So
Yes.
what's up, Donna Mutilation? Hello. And dude is here as well saying, where's Rumble? It should be going. Is Rumble not going?
Rumble not working?
It says it's going. It
Let me
says it's
see.
live.
My feed.
Looks good to me.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
So,
dude, are you not looking?
you should be able to go over on Rumble. But yeah, so yeah, we both went down to Vegas. So I drove down on Monday because I'm in Sacramento. It took me about a little over 8 hours drive nonstop. I did stop for gas and food, and so it took me about 9 hours to get there. Fortunately, I had zero traffic the entire way down, and on the way back, I had zero traffic. And I expected there to not be much traffic on driving down on a Monday. I thought there might be traffic on Friday, but I didn't have any traffic on the way back, even though I was driving through some major towns like at 5, 6 in the afternoon on a Friday where I thought it would be lots of traffic, but there wasn't. So it was nice. And then, so I was fortunate. If it wasn't for, because I've got family in Vegas, and so I was able to stay at their house. If it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't have gone if I had to actually spend money on a hotel or anything, because I'm currently unemployed. So fortunately I was able to keep costs down. So gas was my most thing. I think I've had to spend about $200 on gas, but outside of that, I think I spent a total of $40 because I brought most of my food with me. I bought food twice, and one was at Jack in the Box on the night of the meetup.
Oh yeah.
And then I also bought 3 times. I got food on the way down and then food on the way back, and then I had to pay for parking in Vegas, and it was about $10 each. So I spent about $50 total. So I was able to keep it very low cost, which is why I was able to go. So not having work, I didn't have to take any time off, so it worked out great. I had a lot of fun. So I hung out with family on Tuesday, and then I met up with a bunch of the people who are already in Vegas on Tuesday evening, hung out with them for a couple hours. Then I went to the Devil and I came to the airport to pick up Paul on his flight in.
Yes.
Your flight.
It was very chill. I had no turbulence on the way there. It was funny because I was saying, I was like, this is my first time ever taking a domestic flight anywhere. I usually, if I travel anywhere within the States, I kind of just drive there. I mainly just drive to Colorado for camping, and that's like a 14-hour drive. But yeah, last time I was on a plane was when I was 13 to Poland. So yes, this was also my first flight as just an adult human person. So that was fun. But yeah, no, I don't know. Like I was never scared of planes or anything like that. The statistic of planes being safer than cars just kept me, like, I always just kept thinking about that. I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be fine. Like, I don't know what to
Unless you're on a Boeing.
Oh man. But I was on. I took Frontier, and
that's right.
It was it was fine.
How long was your flight?
It was like 3.5 hours.
Okay.
So I was able to kill time pretty easily. I brought my Switch with me, started playing Breath of the Wild on there for a little bit.
You didn't raw dog the flight, as they're calling it these days.
What's that?
Have you heard about that term, raw dogging a flight?
Oh yeah, raw dogging a flight. That is just so wrong. Why are they
the dumbest thing ever? It's like, why would you just sit there and do nothing?
Right. That's really dumb. I did plenty of things. I edited a video because
you mentioned that you edit on your phone. I was like, that is the weirdest thing ever.
It's the easiest thing ever. Oh my god! And I could edit on the go. It's so great. It's
first of all, what is it that you use on your phone?
Look, I'm just editing right there. You know, it's a program called UCut. And I actually paid for it, called the Pro version. I paid like $7 flat, and it's like mine forever.
And is it like YOU or the letter U?
It is the letter, it's YOUCUT, UCut. And it's free. You could totally use it. You just like watch some ads for like for a minute when you're processing the video. but that's it. It's like for the free version. But I was like, you know what? I'll pay for it. I'll skip the ads every time, and yeah, it's so convenient to edit on the phone and on the go. And so I got a Company Boys video that I'm editing of our repo.
Okay.
Last time we played repo, it's with Imp, and yeah, I'm just sitting there editing the videos. It's great. This is what technology is for.
I'll have to check that out because I can't imagine editing a video on, not a full desktop and having, all the power and everything. So
No,
I'll
I
have to take
have
a look at that.
I have most of the power. Like I understand, like
Got the power.
the most frustrating thing is trying to get things ever so slightly to the right spot. So like all my thumbnails and all that stuff I also edit on the phone, and like anytime I like put my face over something, or for the Company Boys, I'll put like DJ or Insidious's characters' faces on things, and to just get it right and size it right. The worst part about it is trying to let go of the screen without it suddenly moving off to the wrong spot.
Yeah, stuff like that, or like when you're editing, trying to get like, go frame by frame. That seems like that'd be very difficult on a touchscreen.
Yes, luckily you could kind of like zoom into like the track, and then you
Okay.
could kind of slowly like just move the track along and kind of watch it frame by frame. But yeah, there is no like, or maybe there is a button, but they're like kind of like that just button where you go in frame. I don't really need to do that. I kind of go by sound, so I'll be like, okay, pause here, split.
Okay.
So I'll have
Yeah.
to, like, if I miss the split at the wrong spot, I'll like rewind it, play it again, and try to catch it there. So I'm doing that method instead of the frame thing. I'm going
Okay.
by audio, but
Yeah,
yeah.
not that I edit many videos, although I have, because I've done a couple of like actual edited videos. It's been like probably a year and a half since I've done one. Um,
Did you
but
do the? I remember you did a 1 month of like games that are coming on Game Pass.
yes, that's what I'm referring to.
Great at it. I love that edit. I'm like, if this is coming by, if Neo makes these regularly, which I know it's a hassle to do, like to
Yeah,
get
that one
everything.
video took, I don't know, like 6 to 8 hours to do. It was a pain.
Yeah, but I always thought when I saw that video, I was like, if you keep that up, your channel easily rank up. That would definitely track.
Because doing stuff like that is what I had in mind when I started my channel, and then I did that. I'm like, that's a lot more work than I thought. So
It-
that's why I do like I typically do almost nothing but streaming because that's just so much easier. Just very little prep, especially for something like this. Oh, Mike, we're just having a conversation, so it doesn't take anything.
Exactly. Yeah, I
But
like streaming over editing stuff. Yeah.
but when I decided to, I'll give this a shot and see how it goes, and then I made that Game Pass video. I was like, what do I do? What program do I use to edit that? And so I discovered DaVinci Resolve is a full-fledged, like Adobe Premiere. It has like all the bells and whistles, and it's free. So it's complicated. So I had to watch a lot of YouTube videos to just learn some of the basics, but it has like all the power to edit, stuff that you would, as far as I know, you could edit like real movies with it.
Oh yeah.
Basically, I just use it to like clip stuff and fade in and fade out and do transitions. It's super, that part's super easy.
Yeah.
So trying to do that on the phone, it's kind of like,
It's yeah, you're not able to get as precise as you want, but it still gets most of the job done. And like I said, that app that I use does have a free version. You just have to watch an ad every once in a while. But other than that, yeah, I paid the $7 to just have it forever and no ads. So
I'll give it a look. I just downloaded it, so I'll take a look at it later.
nice.
So, quick pause. But dude did hop over to Rumble. He says that was weird. It wasn't in his feed. He had to go to my channel to find it. I've seen that happen on YouTube a few times where, like, I know someone's streaming, but it won't show up in my feed. I actually have to go to their channel to find it. I don't know why. So
Yeah.
it sounds like it's the same thing on some other platforms as well. So Amon Ra's here. Good evening, Amon Ra. Moo to you too.
Moo.
Snap Rise here. What's up? Got
Snap.
to meet Snap in Vegas as well.
Yep.
Good dude. And I want to
Great
talk to
dude.
him about. I've been meaning to talk to him about some stuff. When I was talking to someone at the meetup, someone gave me a really good idea. It's like, oh, I need to go talk to Snap about it. And then I went to go look for him and he had already gone. So I was like, darn
left.
it, I'll have to DM him about it. But good to see you as always, Snap. And Vanquish is here. What's up, Vanquish? Haven't seen you in a few weeks, but hope you're doing well. Wish I could have made it. I have a lot of trips I'm going on this year and could not spare the days off. Understandable. I wish I could have seen you too. And I really wish I could have caught JT. He's there this week. It's like because of work. It's a bummer he couldn't have been a week ahead. Would have loved to have met JT as well. Sophomore John is over on the Twitch side. What's up, John? Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're
John's
doing well.
a legend. I'm
He's
always
a
popping
great
in.
Dude.
I've been popping into his Rumble streams lately, and John's just the sweetest guy alive.
Yeah, and he grew up in my part of town, so when I had him on for open mic back in October, we talked about some local spots. I was like, oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
That is awesome.
So, and Rocker Dude is here. What's up, Rocker Dude? Hope you saw some wrestling in Vegas. I didn't because I have zero interest in wrestling, and I also would not have paid to go see it. And I was only there from Monday to Friday, and all the wrestling stuff took place over the weekend, so I wasn't even there during the wrestling stuff.
I saw some wrestling. It was just some like luchador, what do you call it? Like underground wrestling. It was a Mexican, like underground wrestling. It was set up right outside the karaoke bar that everyone ended up going to on Friday. It was, I believe. Yeah. And there was just there's just luchadors fighting. And I'm like, we just sat there and watched for it. It was free. We were just sitting there. I got a little bit of video for it. I'm in the middle of, speaking of editing, I'm in the middle of editing a little dumb little Vegas trip video.
I was going to ask you about that. You took some videos, so I'm hoping you're putting something together like the highlights.
I do, and I think using this, I could share the screen and show a little bit of it. If you guys want to.
Absolutely.
Let's I'll get that set up.
And while you're working on that, Bliss is in chat. What's up, Bliss? Good evening, buddy, says Ban Paul.
Bliss could go to hell. He could go to hell and die.
All right. There you go, Bliss. Are you happy now? Now it's a solo open mic. So oh, double clicked it.
I'm gone forever.
And Flame Age is also here saying, yo, what's up, Flame Age?
What up, Flame Age? So Insidious sent me 2 giant jars of pickled okra.
I don't know what that is, but that sounds terrible. Anything pickled is got to be gross, right?
Yeah, it's fuzzier and slimier than pickles. So he upped the game. He upped the ante. Yeah, perfection my ass. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, sorry. No swearing. Gotta remember that. What a jerk. He's such a jerk. He brings out the worst in me. Love you, Insidious.
So, while you're trying to figure that out, do you remember what it was that you were editing on your flight?
On the way there, I was editing like I said, Repo.
Oh yeah, Repo stream. Okay.
The game Repo, yeah, our last time we were playing Repo. There's some great pretty good funny footage from that. I actually was in the middle of it and I showed the edit to Dermy and a couple other people who are also playing Repo, and they were just impressed at the move that I did because the giant, I don't know if you're familiar with Repo, but there are lots of monsters. It's a lot like Lethal Company, and there's just a face that floats around and tries to get you. And there's a moment where I was walking around. I think the guys I was playing with, like Insidious and DJ, could see that the face was behind me, and I turned around and I screamed like, "Oh!" I remember Snap even in chat going, "That's the first time I heard Paul scream like that." But I did the greatest juke move ever. I saw it, I went off to the side, ran around it, slid under a table, and then when I showed it to everyone, they're like, "Paul, what? How did you do that?" I'm like, I got skills, even though that was keyboard and mouse. I don't know how I maneuvered using keyboard and mouse. I'm with you. I am controllers all the way. I'll allow it for James to choose his choice as a
from top
keyboard and mic. Yeah, for top 5. He chose keyboard and mouse. I'll allow it because he's right. You do use it to control things. But I'm not very good at it, so I was very surprised at my maneuvering in Repo. But on the way,
wow, I didn't even know I could do that.
Yeah, I was impressed. I was like, "Huh? What? Wow." Repo's a lot of fun. But on the way back, I started putting together all my videos and pictures together for this video that I currently have edited. Oh wait, there's a little bit of swearing in this video. Is that gonna?
Yeah,
You know-
dude. Like, no swear, you would have fooled me with Neo stream last night. Paddle
Oh, right.
streams, I try to keep it clean. Gaming streams are different.
Hold on, let me
But Snaps, I got to ban Snap. He says pickles are awesome. Get out of here. Pickles are absolutely
get him out of here.
disgusting. If I had that clip of Alex Jones, I would play it right now.
Wait. Whoa. It's
Oh.
there's another pack. What is Bliss saying?
He's saying
giving me
tune in Sunday for more treats. If you're streaming on Sunday, you're probably gonna be eating more pickles or something or other. And your kitty is
My
being a
cat's
little
just-
loudmouth.
She is watch this. Quinn, get over here, Quinn. I got her. She's coming right now.
Oh,
That was quick. What a jerk. What a loud mouth. Sorry, guys. This one,
Giddy.
she screams. Quinn likes to scream. She's part of the show now.
she
Anyways,
comes when called.
Yeah, she's obsessed with me. Like me only, because I don't know why. She hears me come home. She doesn't bother anyone else. But for some reason, me, she's like, meow, meow. Well, right now, I don't know what the hell she's doing. She doesn't like that I'm screaming like her now.
Oh, but
Cat's
Bliss fans,
derailing.
Another package is in the mail. Dun dun dun.
I know that's why I'm
I
scared.
shudder for you because I
I'm-
don't know if you could pay me to eat pickles.
I'm regretting life right now. Although I just got off of an Elden Ring stream where I ate quite a bit of pickled okras. So I'm
I don't
happy
envy
and
you.
I'm goddamn, Quinn.
That's all right.
That's loud. All right. But yes, hold on here. I have let me try to get some just footage that doesn't have me swearing, because right in the beginning of the video I was mad. I've been in Vegas for like first 24 hours I was in Vegas, I've seen at least 5 different people step up to the edge of a sidewalk facing the street, pull their junk out, and just pee into the street.
I did
Multiple
not
different-
witness that, but I wasn't down on the strip the whole time like you were.
This was like off the this is like around, like, you know, the main strip. Like, you'd be crazy to do that because that's where it's heavily populated, but just like right around the
Yeah,
strip
you go
was-
one block over and it's like a
It's-
ghost town.
It's a ghost town. It's very like just creepy. Like I'm from Chicago. I never walked down the street freaking thinking that I was gonna get stabbed or anything, but walking down off the strip of Vegas, I definitely felt like I was gonna get stabbed, even though I didn't really see anyone. A couple homeless people here or there, but I'm like, I feel like someone from the bushes is gonna and with a knife. Like, yeah, so eerie, very, very creepy. But yeah, so I started off my little video edit where I'm like, welcome to Las Vegas, where people piss in the street and no one gives a F.
Dude saying every time Neo dies in Elden Ring, he has to eat a pickle. Well, one, I'm not planning on streaming Elden Ring. And two, absolutely not. I'm not eating a pickle.
I kind of want to do that challenge for myself.
Why?
Next Souls game. Next Souls
your
game.
next- Oh, on your next Souls game, not necessarily your next Elden Ring stream.
No. Maybe no. I wouldn't. I'm making No, I'm not making any promises. But that would be. I did bet a pickle on one thing the last time I played Elden Ring. Was all right. I'm a big fan of fake walls. I hit every wall I see. I try to roll into it, just like some people. I know after a while you start swinging at every chest because you don't trust it's
I
a
did
mimic.
that my entire Dark Souls playthrough. Every chest I hit it multiple times just to make sure before I tried opening it.
Imagine that kind of OCD, but with every wall you see. So I don't trust any walls in Elden Ring. So you'll see. I maybe should make a supercut of all the fake walls I've
So
tried.
where were you going with that regarding the fake walls? You said you made yourself a challenge or something?
Oh yeah. So there was a fake wall that I was certain was a fake wall, and I'm like, I bet a pickle that this is a fake wall,
And it wasn't.
and it wasn't a fake wall. So I had a pickle. So this pickles challenging, like betting something on pick, and if I lose I have to eat a pickle, seems like another layer of being able to mess with me. And I accept too many challenges. So people in chat could be like, Paul, I bet you a pickle you won't beat this boss on the first try. And I'll probably
Challenge
accept.
accepted.
Yeah. I'm too much of a I have that competitive spirit when it comes
Like
to
in
video
Back to the
games.
Future, every time Marty gets called a chicken.
Oh, pretty much. You call me a chicken in the video game, I'll be like, I'll bet a pickle on it. But I
Back
regret
in college, me and my buddies, we all had slap bets because we were all big fans of How I Met Your Mother. But for Paul, it's pickle bets.
It's pickle bets. Yeah, that's exactly.
So do we get to slap you with a pickle? That'd
No.
be great.
Please no.
Mix the two together.
God, please no. God. And it's funny. I've gotten to the point where now every time I hear a dono thing while streaming, it's no longer excitement. It's no longer, oh my God. Yes. It's becoming PTSD. Now every time I'm hearing either the Ko-fi thing or the Stream Elements thing, I'm like, oh no. This is, and now I'm like, yeah, now I'm in fear. It's like, God, I don't want it. No more.
Wife.
Yes. I'm gonna need a battered man's shelter from pickles.
Someone make a meme of that. Paul at a spousal abuse support group when he's like talking about his abuse from pickles.
Yes, that is true. That is exactly great. How it goes. Oh, geez. So.
So back on to talk about earlier about edited videos. I was just thinking last night, is like, you know what? I'm gonna give that a shot again. So next week, when we get our next round of Game Pass leavings games, I'm gonna do another one of those videos next week and see how it does. So I may start doing some more edited content and kind of see how it goes. Especially now that, because I did that, I probably had only like 20 subs at the time. I'm on the verge of 300. I was at like 282 a few days ago, and now I'm 297. So I'm short of 300.
Let's go. Let's get some subs.
So,
but
yeah, I'm thinking about doing that and just some other random video game news. So
right on.
We'll see how it goes. I'm planning on doing that next week.
Yeah, I too am looking into doing more of the edited content and bringing information to people. I like the idea. Me and the boys have been kind of chatting about perhaps there being a Company Boys either podcast or just making edited content for the Company Boys channel, where like our opinions or news or stuff like that. The podcast, the live streaming, I feel like it's oversaturated. So like, although I do feel like people enjoy the talking streams more versus like gameplay streams.
I definitely do.
Yeah, right. Like I've been trying to. That's the thing, is like I've been trying to get into the mind of the viewer. Like even myself, like I've been kind of not jotting down, but like making a mental note of like, why did I turn off that guy's stream? Why did I go back to this stream? What keeps me going back to this person's stream? And I realize a lot of the times I keep going back to a lot of the streams where there's, talking, more talking going on versus gameplay.
I like it because you can always, put it on and listen to it in the background while you're doing something else, which
that's always nice.
I almost always have something playing, when I'm doing something.
For sure. So yeah, I've been thinking about doing more of like more edited content, whether it be informational or opinionated or, mostly games, obviously, I do like talking about other entertainment stuff, but I don't really watch, everybody else is into the comics and movies and hating on Disney. And I'm just kind of like, everybody else can handle that because there's a million of those people.
Yeah.
So I'm more looking, I like channels like Gamer Ranks. I don't know if anybody watched.
Yep. I watched a lot of their stuff.
I love them because they're like truly unbiased and they just keep talking about games. They're just like, hey, this is what's cool. This is what we like about it. And I'm almost starting to become white pilled because of all the black pilled people, where there's no hope in gaming. And I'm like, are you kidding? There's plenty of games. Chill out.
You definitely just got to know where to look. Yeah.
Right.
I'm getting him kind of mixed up because I was thinking of Skill Up. He's not on Game Ranks, but he does a twice monthly show with Jake Baldino, who is on Game Ranks.
Yeah,
They do their Friends Per Second podcast twice a month.
nice.
So I was just watching one of his videos, literally like right before you join the lobby.
Right on.
But yeah, they do. I love their before you buy videos.
Yes.
And they do a lot of great, like
Top.
not rank videos, but just like, list videos of like, here's 10 things that are, 10 games with wacky, side quests, stuff like that.
Yeah,
I love that.
yeah.
I love those types of videos.
Yeah, the recent ones they had were like 10 or 20 games that had not bad endings, but like evil endings or something, or endings that you didn't know games had.
I watched that one. Yep.
That's great.
More so listen to it, but yeah.
Yeah, no, they do like cool, like just 10 best open world games, and they're not even necessarily in order. Sometimes it'll just be like 20 games that are coming out this month, and so it's just it's good to just hear from someone that's like just still talking about games. It does feel like old Screw Attack, where the Screw Attack used to, and Stutter and Craig used to do those.
That old stuff. So
oh really? Yeah,
what it was originally like.
I would kind of compare it to Gamer Ranks, but Craig and them did a lot of the like
Game
skits
Ranks.
and kind of stuff. What? Game Ranks?
Game Ranks, not Gamer Ranks.
Gamer Ranks.
It's just like whenever Extra Zero is talking about Game Pass, he always calls it Games Pass. It's like it's not Games Pass, it's Game Pass. There's no S in the middle.
Oh, you know what? Because I see Gamer because it is Gamer Ranks.
There is an R in the middle, but there's not two R's, so it's Game Ranks, not Gamer Ranks.
So I always read it as Gamer because there's no space in between.
It's kind of like PetSmart, where it's Pet Smart or Pets Mart, where the S could go either way.
Exactly, but there's no. Anks isn't a real word, so it makes no sense. So you're right.
Ranks is a word. They just
Ranks is a word,
X.
but Anks is not a word. So Gamer Anks makes no sense. You're right.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. It's like if you did the R on the end of gamer, then Anks wouldn't be a word.
Make a sense. Yeah.
Ranked. Yes.
Exactly. So it has to be Game Ranks. So my dyslexic self saw Gamer and just constantly thought it was called Gamer Ranks. All right, that was a great 2-minute conversation about my dyslexia. Beautiful.
But yeah, dude says shill up. He does call himself shill up, and it's like it took me a while because I watched his videos and he'd say shill up. I'm like, do you not know your own name? It's you go by skill up. But one of the things I was going to mention about him is that I respect his journalistic integrity, because whenever someone offers to like fly him out for something, he'll pay his own way so that he doesn't have that, them paying for him.
Right.
Like looming over is like, hey, I should give them a better score because they paid for me to do all this stuff. He pays his own way. So I like that about him. For sure.
And we need more people like that, where it's just like about the games, man. It's not about the industry, courting you. Like, oh, would you like some free stuff for a better grade on our game? It's like, get out of here. Your game is trash, and I'm going to say it's trash. Or it's good, and I'll tell you why it's good. But that's what I miss about, YouTubers and stuff. Because now it feels like YouTubers and all that just want to get everyone raged and mad and say this is crap or that's crap. Yeah, it's also clickbait, which is why, probably like channels like ours is like, hey, we're just having fun here. Don't really, get a lot of views because we're not really kind of like out there talking smack about stuff. We're just focusing on the fun stuff.
And that's basically the reason why I started my channel, is because, there are all those, clickbait rage channels. Everything is all doom and gloom. And there's all the like video game news channels like Game Ranks, nothing against that. But it's like, I don't really there's like no channels, at least that I know of, that like people just talking about the games and like, whatever they're playing. Doesn't have to be anything new. It's like just talking about games in general. So that's why I started my channel. I just want to talk about video games themselves, not about like the news, just about the games. So
right.
Christian Brady's is hopping into chat here, saying hi. Good evening, Christian. Good to see you as always. He'll be on, and we haven't figured out when yet, but he's going to come on for a second open mic here sometime in the next few weeks.
Let's go. He's a wall of information, that kid.
He is. He's got all sorts of crazy knowledge. So
get ready for all the knowledge in the world. I love it.
So Bliss has a great idea. Paul should start a pickle review channel, just like what's that guy's name that does all the pizza reviews?
Oh,
Dave, is it Dave?
Portnoy.
Portnoy, yeah, Dave Portnoy. Paul could do the same thing except for do it for pickles.
I hate it, but I love it.
Oh, speaking of that, completely unrelated, but it just reminded me of. Did you ever see the movie American Pickle?
No.
It's a really dumb premise. It's with Seth Rogen. It's like in the 1890s or something, and he works at a pickle factory, and he falls in right as they get shut down, so he gets preserved in the pickle brine for 100 years, and then he comes out and he's still alive. It's basically like what was that Brendan Fraser one? Was it Encino Man?
Oh yeah. I love
Where he's like a
Man.
prehistoric, like a Neanderthal in modern day, except it's a lot shorter time frame. So he starts. Oh yeah, so.
It's fun. I like the premise of this movie, but if I didn't hate Seth Rogen so much, maybe
I didn't pick to watch it. It was all right. I didn't mind it, but I was over at someone's house and they put it on, so I was like, don't got anything else to do, so watched American Pickle.
Too funny.
But yeah, so that just reminded me of that. Yeah, exactly. Dawn of Mutilation has it. Every pickle will be rated 0 out of 10. That doesn't matter how good you think it is. All pickles are 0 out of 10 because they're all disgusting.
Wait, but that's kind of funny. If I was like, all right, we're reviewing this pickle, I take one bite. Everybody knows the rules. I bite. I go, oh, spit it out. Terrible. And that's every video. And we make hundreds of them.
I love it.
You guys are giving me good ideas here.
So, but yeah, well, another thing I was going to mention on the topic of, I said I was going to start doing some edited stuff next week and kind of see how that goes. The other thing that is easy to do, I just have not done it. I'm going to probably start with that. And because I've got, like party chat, like top 5, those are easy things to clip out and make for, clip it out, make it a video. So I'm going to start doing that as well and see if that helps at all.
Yeah.
Party chat topics, those are perfect for a video.
Yeah. Shorts and just clips in general, they seem to do well. We're giving you some YouTubers. We're giving you good stuff here.
So, all right. So you flew it. Oh yeah, you said that you played Breath of the Wild on your flight. Is that right?
Yes, I would play a little bit of that after I got tired editing videos because I was like, I had my head down editing a video for so long. Granted, I did have to have my head down while playing a game, but I was able to kind of I was getting migraines, and when I flew in, I had a weird headache. It was probably just the stress of everything. I'm like making sure that nothing went wrong. I didn't miss anything, but yeah, I was like switching back and forth between like doing stuff on my phone and playing on the Switch because just like bending over looking at my neck was starting to hurt, my head was starting to hurt. But yeah, I started playing Breath of the Wild and I liked it.
Is that the first time you played it?
Yes.
Okay. I've not played it before, so I don't know.
I've played. I think I may have played a very, very little bit of it a while back when I first got it, but then it's just been kind of sitting there and I haven't touched it. But yeah, I got a good maybe the first hour into it. I got to the first little temple dungeon puzzle thing, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. There's one thing that bugs me about the game though, and it's not the durability of the weapons.
Really? That's like I don't have it, but the weapon durability is probably one of the main reasons why I'm not terribly interested in playing it.
I'm not too mad because I've beaten up an enemy with a stick and it breaks and I have another stick. So until I run out of weapons to use, then maybe I'll get mad, but there's a quick, easy swap weapons button that they integrated. So I'm like, cool. I have a whole plethora of weapons I've collected to keep beating people up with. So yeah, it kind of stinks, but it's not the worst thing in the world. I'm not too mad at the durability. I'm assuming the better weapons last longer, and I don't know. I'll figure all that out. But here's the thing that bothers me.
Okay.
I'm mad at the game for putting essentially what is a Switch in the game.
I've heard. I didn't even know that until literally within the last week or two. Might have
Yeah,
been you or
yeah, because
someone
I think
else
I
was
was
saying
I
there's a
think I was
Switch in the game. I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, it's basically a tablet in the game that looks like a Switch. So
yeah,
what is this thing?
it is
You remember
the
what it's called?
Chic. It's the Chic tablet.
Okay.
So you use it to like you could use it as almost like a telescope to mark look around and ping things on the map. Um, and I think in the game like Link uses it to like scan over like chic ancient technology to like open a door or something like that. But it's goofy to be me staring at a tablet like I'm sitting on a plane, like literally looking like this, and then Link is also in game staring at his tablet looking like this. And I'm like,
It's so meta.
could you not r- have him doing the exact same position I'm doing right now? Is I don't know. It just rubbed me the wrong way. I don't. That's a
Mi-
weird thing to complain about, but
Link on a Chic tablet is playing Breath of the Wild himself. So it's like
exactly.
Inception.
It is. It's totally Inception. And I'm like, get this out of here. We complain about not modern daying stuff into games. I'm mad that they're modern daying Zelda with making Link look like every 10-year-old with a tablet just walking down the street. I'm like, get it out of there. Give the Sheiks a different bit of technology. I don't know. It was just weird. It's not a big complaint. It's just goofy to. I started. It's like self-realization. You're seeing Link stand there like this, and then you're like, "Wait, that's
What an
exactly
idiot.
how I
But
look
wait,
right now."
that's what I'm doing right now.
Exactly. So I'm like, "Don't remind me of how much of a dingus I look right now." Uh, that's my biggest complaint. Other than that,
Okay.
movement feels nice. Jumping, running, climbing, all that stuff. Like I said, I've only gotten like an hour in, but I did the first dungeon. The little magnet things fun. I think in the second one that's the thing that you use to start putting things together and building,
I
but
think
in the
it's
first
called,
one
I think in Tears of the Kingdom, I think it's called the God Hand.
might be the God Hand, but this
I've heard
one
that term in reference to Zelda, so I'm assuming that's what it is, but I could be wrong.
I think well, in this one in Breath of the Wild it shows like a picture of a magnet, so it's kind of like you're just moving things for platforming reasons. Like sometimes you got to just pick up a big sheet of metal and either suddenly a ladder, a hole with the ladder appears, or you need to use that to make a bridge to go somewhere else. It's good. I'm very interested in finally playing it though, because I have been holding it off for a while because I know that it's a big game and I've already invested in too many big games. So I'm
Yeah,
trying to find 10, 12-hour games that I could just knock out real quick and be happy and done with.
that's like the sweet spot.
Yeah, I'm getting too old for these. Like, I love immersive games. Oblivion just released and I love Skyrim, so I'm like, oh, am I going to have to invest into this? And I
Yeah.
probably am going to have to. But
Yeah, there's Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are both giant games. I still have to play through the Skyrim, the Series X or Xbox One version. I've got probably about like 20 or 30 hours into it, but I've barely done anything in it so far. I want to play the Oblivion remake. I've got I'm going to be playing Cyberpunk eventually, Witcher 2 and Witcher 3.
Same.
So it's like all these giant games that I want to play, but I've got all hundreds of other smaller games that I want to play as well. All my Metroidvanias that I've been backlogging. So it's tough to be like, all right, this is gonna be my game I'm gonna be playing for like the next month. That's tough. So,
and especially since things like Oblivion shadow dropping, where you didn't plan on making space for like, all right, I got these games lined up, and then bam, a shadow drop. Yeah, I'm complaining about a shadow drop now. Actually,
shadow drops are awesome, but yeah, it's like
there's the one negative thing about it. It's like I wasn't planning on spending 100 hours of my near future on this game. I had plans.
I'm looking forward to playing it again because I haven't played it since like 2009. I pulled it up on stream the other night to see when my last achievement was. It was 2009. I'm like, I very much look forward to playing this again and get the achievements for it over again because it was a great game.
I've never played Oblivion, so I'm excited to see what the hype is about because I started my first Elder Scrolls with Skyrim.
Okay.
Actually, Skyrim was like pretty much the first RPG to introduce me to RPGs. Like I didn't
Oh, that was
I didn't
Oblivion. Oblivion introduced me to RPGs.
yeah, I did not understand side quests. I did not understand collecting everything and crafting and all that kind of before that I was strictly just shooters, action games, nothing that required much thought. I think the games that required the most thought was like Zelda games and stuff, but again, like I haven't played
I love puzzle games. Those ones usually take some thinking.
Yes, I think the last puzzle game, I'm trying to think, Portal? I don't know. I think that was maybe like the last puzzle game that I like played all the way through and remember was
The first
Portal
one or
1.
the second one?
I have not played the second one.
Oh,
I've only played Portal 1.
it takes everything Portal 1 does, and because Portal 1 was almost more like an extended tech demo.
Yeah.
Portal 2, they really fleshed it out, and it's
Mate.
easily one of my, if not my favorite puzzle game of all time. It's easily up there in my top 3.
Nice.
It's fantastic, and it was great on the last episode of, was it last episode of Open Mic? Yeah, because we didn't have one last week because we were in Vegas. The week before, had Open Mic with Snap, and we played some Portal.
Yeah, I saw that. That's awesome.
So,
Yeah, I would love to do Portal 2 co-op because that's a totally different campaign than the Portal 1, right?
Yep. Well, Portal 1 is single player only.
2, sorry. Yeah, no,
But
I meant
there's the single player campaign, and there's a completely separate co-op campaign because you each have portals guns. So there's 4 portals, not just 2.
Oh wow. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
great.
That
I
totally
love it.
changes it up. Yeah, I played a tiny bit of Portal 2.
That's
I
why
remember
we played last week is because basically whenever Portal comes up, I'm like, I love that game. I'm happy to play it whenever. So Snap's like, hey, since I'm coming on Open Mic, would you want to do some Portal? I'm like, sure, let's do it.
Let's
So
do it.
if you ever want, anyone wants a Portal co-op partner, let me know. I'm sure we got through 3 of the, because it's 5. There's basically like 5 like mini campaigns essentially in Portal 2 co-op that focus on different aspects, and each one has like between like 8 and 10 chambers in them, and we got through the first 3, so we still got 2 more to go.
Nice.
Yeah, Staps there saying for sure Portal 2 was fun. Yeah, we'll definitely have to finish that up at some point.
I remember starting Portal 2 and I enjoyed the beginning of it because the robot's voiced by Stephen Merchant. And I like Stephen Merchant's hilarious. I love him.
His character in Portal 2 is Wheatley.
Wheatley. That's hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah.
I recognize Stephen Merchant's voice all the time.
Oh yeah, what do you recognize it from?
Just him as a comedian. Him and Ricky Gervais created The Office together. They do a bunch of shows together.
I've never seen British Office, but I know that he was involved with it.
Yeah, he was. I don't think he was in it. He was involved with it, but he did a lot of other shows. They did a lot of radio together, actually, and they did some podcasts. The Ricky Gervais Show, which was actually on HBO, where it was him, Stephen Merchant, and Carl Pilkington. Which, if you don't know about Carl Pilkington, he's like the village idiot, but like sometimes but you know, like that idiot guy that like he says dumb things, but sometimes he's like he kind of makes sense, but then you're like, wait, where's his brain going with this? He's definitely a wonder of the world, and I understand. Ricky Gervais spent like maybe a decade of his life just interviewing this guy. He brought him on his podcast. He did a whole show where he sends him to the 8 wonders of the world. Monkey News, yes, Insidious Bliss, those Monkeys News. Oh my god. Ladies Man, that was wasn't that a movie with or a TV show with Stephen Merchant? I believe.
Thought Ladies Man was a movie, but
Ladies Man. I think it was something else. Or The Ladies Man. I don't know. Stephen Merchant did do a TV show and movies. Hello Ladies, that's what it was. Hello Ladies, okay. Yeah. And yeah, Carl Pilkington or Monkey News with on the Ricky Gervais show. It's so good. It's some of the best. I've never laughed so hard watching those 3 talk. And anytime Carl Pilkington's involved, and yeah, Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant, it is always comedy gold. And so yeah, when I heard Stephen Merchant's voice in Portal 2, I'm like, let's go.
Yes, yeah. Portal 2's got a great campaign. Both the single player campaign is excellent as well. There's more story to it than there was in the first one. Hold that for just 1 second.
I'm totally gonna derail, but go ahead.
Okay, yeah. I had a coworker a couple jobs ago. He looked almost identical to Stephen Merchant. So
really,
yeah,
that's hilarious.
Yeah, the like one of the things that because in Portal 1, it's really short, but there were a couple puzzles where it's like because sometimes when you get launched out of portals, it's really disorienting. So you got to like figure out what direction like you're facing. And there was one puzzle where you have to like you have to go up and jump out of one portal and then shoot another portal and then go back down the portal you just came out of. And you have to do that 3 or 4 times in a row. That portal was very difficult. Or that puzzle was very difficult because every time you go through the portal, you're having to reorient and you have to get a portal right where you need to before you fall back down. And it was very difficult because of the timing. Fortunately, there were no puzzles like that in Portal 2. So I think the Portal 2 puzzle design was better as well. So
Gotcha.
Go ahead and derail.
Oh, my derailment was speaking of co-op games, and you're gonna love this because I recently saw the trailer for this. Or we're getting closer to a release date, I believe. Subnautica 2.
Oh yeah,
I haven't even played 1 though. I gotta play 1. But I saw recently. When is it? Is it like this month or next month?
I don't think it has a release date yet. So obviously you know how much I love Subnautica because like every time someone's playing it, it's like, hey Neo, someone's playing Subnautica. It's like, yeah, I'm already in the chat. Or you'd hop into chat on a stream that I was on and like, oh geez, big surprise, Neo's talking about Subnautica again. Yeah. So I am super stoked for Subnautica 2. And when I was down in Vegas, I got to meet my buddies at the Salty Nerd podcast, Alex, who's going to be on Party Chat next week.
Shout out.
He's a huge fan of Subnautica as well. So we were talking about it when I met him at the meetup. And he's like, dude, we got to do some Subnautica streams. And yeah, it's both because Subnautica 2 is co-op. The first one did not. Yes. And it's also crossplay because he's planning on playing it on PC, but I'm going to be playing on Xbox. So
nice.
I am absolutely stoked for that.
Is it 4-player co-op or is it 2-player co-op? Or is it not announced?
I don't know if it's announced. I'm under the assumption that it's 2-player co-op.
I'm going to bet.
I could be wrong about that.
I'm going to bet 4 or 6. A lot of games are 6-player co-op these days. And I don't even realize
6. What games have 6-player co-op?
Well, like Repo, the game that we've been playing, I thought it was 4 players this whole time. Turns out it was 6 the whole time. Path of Exile 2, but that's kind of different. But I don't know. I feel like a 6-player survival crafting games is the kind of a sweet spot for that. But I would bet 4 players because a lot of.
Do you want to make a pickle bet? If you get it right. No. Then if you're correct about 4, then I have to eat the pickle. My guess is it's 2. And if I get it right, then you have to eat the pickle.
And if it's 6, do we both have to eat a pickle? A gentleman's agreement. Well, yeah, we got to figure out if it's not 2 or 4. What if it's like 3 or 6? Then we both eat a pickle.
I'm going to derail again here in a moment after we get this figured out because of that reminded me, like I mentioned earlier, me and my buddies, we all did slap bets. I want to
got a slap bet story
about a slap bet we had.
Beautiful.
But Snap says there's going to be Subnautica 2. That's awesome. Yes, there is. And it doesn't have a release date other than 2025. So we don't know when this year's coming out. I think they were shooting for May, but I don't think it's going to be if that's only a few weeks away. I'm pretty sure if it was going to be coming out in May, we'd have a release date by now.
Right, because I don't remember if I saw it in a Game Ranks video. You know what? I caught to derail real quick one more time. I was watching Snap. I made Snap lose his mind yesterday on his stream because Snap loves to do this all the time. Anyways. And just keep talking, and then he realized how much he says it, so now I'm doing the same thing with Gamer Ranks. Anyways, no, I think I saw a Game Ranks video. Either it was games that were coming out recently, which I thought that was what it was in Subnautica 2. I thought it was in that video, but it may have been like top 10 open world games. So I think new open world game. No, wait, 2 is new, so it had to have been games coming out this year.
Are you sure it was about Subnautica 2 and not a video that involved Subnautica 1?
No, I said Subnautica 2 because I remember the trailer showing 2 people and like, oh, now you can play with friends. I don't remember. I think it may be upcoming releases, but I thought it was like coming in May. Maybe Game Ranks know something we don't know, and they are coming out in May.
My guess would be it was a video on upcoming open world games, and it happened to involve
maybe, yeah, new open world games for sure. But I'm stoked for that because I like me a good co-op survival crafting game, and since Subnautica is such highly regarded, but no co-op, I'm
The
I'm
first one,
excited
yeah,
for
it's on
that.
the
Yeah,
co-op.
the first one, yeah. The second one, I may if it comes out faster than I get to play part one, I might just skip part one and start playing part two with you or something. But because it looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah,
But
I don't, because it'll be because first of all, I was surprised that they called it Subnautica 2 because we already have there's Subnautica Below Zero, which is I think they didn't call it that because Below Zero was originally just a DLC for Subnautica and they spun it
yeah,
off into its own game.
yeah,
So I was like, why don't they call it Subnautica 3? But they went with 2. There's not really a whole well, what I'll say is the story of 1 is pretty much all contained. There's not really anything left over to continue in a Subnautica 2. So I'm assuming because in Below Zero there actually is, it kind of leaves you on a bit of a cliffhanger. So it definitely leaves it open to another one. But the thing is, the way it ends is it leaves it open to another game, but it would be on a completely different planet. And I believe, I could be wrong about this, but I believe Subnautica 2 is on the same planet that both the games that are already out takes place on. So
maybe
we'll have to see. But
prequel. Maybe it's a prequel.
Once that could be, but once that we find out more about the story of Subnautica 2, I could probably tell you whether you should play either of the two that are already out before, or whether you could just go into 2 blind and not really be missing anything.
I am pretty good at just having story blindness. As long as gameplay is fun and I'm having fun, I'm gonna be like, "Oh, you're missing the story out on one." I'll be like, "Really, I'm missing the story out on this one too because I haven't been really paying attention."
Yeah,
It happens too much to me. When I'm having too much fun with gameplay, I'll totally ignore the story. So I'll be like, "Wait, what happened in the game? Elden Ring? I have no idea what's going on in Elden Ring, but that's
Souls games don't do a good job of storytelling.
yeah, they don't. Actually, they do a too good of a job. It's so good of a job that regular humans can't fathom how good of a job they're doing.
But yeah, basically the extent of the story of Subnautica 1 is you crash land on this planet and you try to get home.
Yeah.
Subnautica 2 or Below Zero actually has a story where you go to this planet looking for, because you in Below Zero you play as a different character than in the first one. You go to this planet trying to figure out what happened to your sister, and you follow a story, and takes you to another planet, and that's where the game ends. But the first one is you crash land on a planet. You're the only survivor from your ship, and you're trying to survive and make it back home. So there's not a whole lot of story. I mean, there is story to what is going on the planet, but it's not, a whole lot. So
Right. Well,
um,
I'm looking forward to it because yeah, I like me a good survival. There's a couple of new survival crafting games coming out. One that just dropped was surprisingly a RuneScape game. I don't know if you're familiar with this.
I've heard of RuneScape, and that was like that
that
game
was
super old.
yeah, old school RuneScape. That's just
I never
like
played it.
yeah, no, that's totally different than what they just released. What they released
I
was
might not even recognize if I saw a screenshot of RuneScape. I probably wouldn't even be able to tell you that was RuneScape because a lot of games I haven't played, but I'd be like, oh, I know exactly what game that is.
yeah.
But RuneScape, I don't even know if I could recognize it.
Yeah, it's real. It's old, top down, like MMO. I believe it's older than World of Warcraft. I think it's more a regular RuneScape. I believe is more in the realm of a World of Warcraft, like a MMO. Whereas this new RuneScape game is pretty much a Valheim clone. You know about Valheim?
I've heard of it, but I don't really know anything about it.
So that one was kind of a recent survival crafting game that came out a couple of years ago. It's still in early access, but it was almost like an upgrade from Minecraft. Minecraft's extra blocky. Valheim's pretty still low poly.
Looking. Got the voxel look.
It has like a bit of a low poly look to it, but it was praised for its crafting and building. And one thing that they did differently was in Valheim, where weight actually mattered. So you couldn't just, like in Fortnite, you just build, and like structurally it doesn't make sense because it should just tip over and fall. Valheim was like one of the first crafting
Like
games.
buildings had structural integrity.
Exactly, and you could it even like showed how much integrity as you're building stuff. So Valheim blew up.
Interesting.
It really blew up for that, but it was your typical crafting survival game. If you've played one, you've played them all. I was
A
big
lot of
into.
them.
I played in Ark a lot, and games like that. So it's a lot like that. So RuneScape pretty much went from being an MMO like World of Warcraft to going to being more of a survival crafting game, like a Valheim or a Ark. And it's it looks really nice. I forgot what it's called. It's called like RuneScape Dragon something. I forgot what it's called, but it that also just recently released on early access, and it looks good.
Dragon
it's
Wilds.
Dragon Wilds. Yeah, Game Ranks did a video on it before you buy.
Oh, I skipped that one because I had I don't know
No
anything
interest.
about
Yeah,
RuneScape.
yeah. But yeah, I'm all about that. I love games like that. I know they're like forever, almost like those forever games. We could just stay in the world and keep playing forever. Um, that one and another survival crafting one that's supposed to release is what's the Dune the movie is making a survival crafting game, so
Okay.
I'm kind of excited about that. Survival crafting doesn't get enough love these days, and I like to promote those.
Yeah. For me, it's I don't know what it is, but there's something like specific that really has to be there to draw me in. I don't even know what it is. Um,
Something
like
about
I love
Subnautica, though.
Subnautica.
Yeah.
I love Subnautica. As you know, it's one of my most in the last decade. It's easily my most beaten game. I've beaten it probably close to 10 times since I haven't been playing it for a decade because I played it when it originally played it on Game Pass. I think like right when it joined Game Pass in like 2018. But in the last decade, that's probably the game I've beaten the most times. But a lot of these other ones, I'm like, that one doesn't really like draw me in. Like the closest thing to it has been Satisfactory.
Okay. I think I'm starting to pinpoint you. Because in Subnautica, there's not quite any like building, right? Like you're not building structures. Or are you building like an underground base?
You can build there's people who go crazy on building their underwater bases that are nuts. Like
Okay.
I'm all about functionality, so I just build the rooms that I need.
Right.
If you wanted to, you can go buck wild and build all sorts of crazy bases.
Gotcha. Okay. I think yeah, your functionality where there's a lot of survival crafting builders who do it for like a fun design. They're like, I'm gonna build a mansion for no reason because I can.
Every time I start a new playthrough on Subnautica, I'm like, I'm gonna make a really nice base this time, and I've still not done it.
Yeah, it's really tough.
I'm like, I'm gonna do it, and then I start building it. I'm like, this is good enough.
There's some great channels for pick a game, Ark, Valheim, games with good building mechanics and like good structures, good pieces. Because a lot of survival building games won't have like certain corner pieces, so you can't really like build the kind of building you want. So the games that have like all these different pieces and corners and triangles and stuff like that, there's some channels that make some fantastic buildings. There's a couple I'm subscribed to that I watch them build this, and it's like I want to learn. I want to sit there and learn and be just as good, because it is definitely a craft, and it kind of it's a nice little entry way to being like, hey, this is game design, designing buildings, and even like in Valheim you could manipulate the earth to either make hills or dig into it. So kind of like in-person level design with the crafting, and I don't know, I appreciate that. There's definitely an art to it.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of that in the Satisfactory subreddit where people just like show off, like it's like we are not playing the same game. They're building these super elaborate, like massive buildings, like these facilities that just look like you know, someone who's been to like architecture school for, you know, like decades, and these things just look phenomenal. It's like I could never build that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I know it's exactly what you mean.
So yeah, I've been a fan of watching people building their things. It's fun. But yeah, I have a special place in my heart for survival crafting games. Grounded was the last one that
I
I
was gonna
read.
mention that one.
Love that one. That's like my favorite. I don't know why, but I love Grounded. They did so much right in that game where it's like quality of life at its peak for survival crafting. So if you want an easy but still fun survival crafting game, Grounded's really good.
I don't know about easy. I put about 30 hours into Grounded and I've liked most of it. It has a lot, it scratches a lot of the Subnautica itches. But there's a couple things that like I don't know if I'm missing something, but like if it's not like a super basic bug, I can't kill like anything.
I know what you're missing, and it's the same thing you were missing with Dark Souls. Can you guess what that is?
Well, Dark Souls, it was a desire to play it.
What was the one thing me and Dude kept telling you would make the game a million times easier? But you just it's hard to do.
Oh, parrying?
Parrying.
Does Grounded have parrying?
It has perfect parrying. When they jump, like a giant spider will lunge and jump at you. If you just and what's great about Grounded is I'll just keep spamming block and it kind of works. I don't know if they patched it out, but when you like get the sense that a bug's about to jump at you, I'll like keep spamming block so that like it definitely nails the perfect block. But I think they kind of patched that out because I used to be perfect at perfect blocks on Grounded. And then the last time I played it, which was a while back, I was starting to miss a couple of those perfect blocks. And I'm like, uh-oh, I better get good because no more spamming the block button. But yes, there's a when they lunge at you, you perfect time it with the block. I think it could be any weapon as long as it has a block to it. You don't necessarily have to have a shield. I think the shield will negate more damage though. But you perfect block with like a club, they get stunned back, you start smacking and then time it out. There's a little bit of that Dark Souls element where you gotta just wait it out, parry them, and then start swinging and attacking. So that is the combat trick for there's a little bit of the Dark Souls. Get the biggest, fattest weapon you can, and parry as much as you can.
Okay, I'll have to try that next time I get back to playing it because it's been a while. But yeah, my main issues were I wish it did a better job of kind of guiding me on where I'm supposed to go to continue the story. I'm like, I don't know where I'm supposed to go to progress, and the actual like progression of like the items that you collect in order to craft stuff seems to not be up to par with the enemies I'm supposed to be facing. Yes, so that's my biggest issue with Grounded. But other than that, I've liked a lot of what I played with Grounded.
For sure. Yeah, no, there is you have to kind of recognize like, all right, much like Dark Souls or Elden Ring, where you're like, all right, this is level 1 enemy types. If you go over here, they're the tougher enemies, but you got to kill some of these guys to get a little bit like Monster Hunter as well, where you have to kill certain enemies to gather their crafting material to make better crafting material, make better weapons.
Yeah.
Keep venturing out into the harder lands and just kind of rinse and repeat. But yeah, it doesn't really do a good job of where exactly. It just gives you a pinpoint as to where all the chips that you're trying to collect are. You bring a chip to the little robot dude, and then you get more building stuff from it. It doesn't do a great job of, like you said, explaining. But once you kind of know, I know the crafting survival gaming loop, it does take a little bit of a learning curve, much like a Dark Souls game. Once you get it, then you get it, but the game doesn't really tell you much up front. But I like those kind of games. I don't know what it is about that. Something is so satisfying about like when it finally clicks and you're like, that's what it's trying to tell me to do, you know? Once it clicks, you're like, I'm gonna ravage everyone, like much like Dark Souls. I think that's why I fell in love with Dark Souls, because it's like the newest kind of game type. It's not that new anymore, but I don't know. It's the like most recent of the likes. There's roguelike, there's Souls like, and I think I just really enjoy the Souls games because they just follow that formula, and once you kind of understand it, you know where to go and how to navigate. But to a newcomer, they're just like, "What is happening?" And it's like, "Yeah, you'll get it. You'll get it eventually."
Yeah, so like it has like the crafting is almost identical to Subnautica. So I get like, yeah, I know I need to get these items to craft this, and I can see all these things that I have the knowledge on to craft. I just want the materials. Like I have no idea where I need to go to find these materials. So
Yeah,
I've kind of hit a brick wall, and that's kind of why I fell off the game a while back. So I'm like, I don't know where to go, and I know what I want to craft, but I don't know where to go to get it or to progress the story. So
for sure, for sure. Well, maybe one day we'll play that as well. Oh man, it looks like we have too many survival. If we do Subnautica 2, Grounded, we'll have to start. Excuse me, we'll have to start a survival crafting day of the week or something if we can. That sounds
very
like a lot of fun.
possible.
I'd be
Um,
down.
And yeah,
Oh, because
when you
I know.
mentioned the light bulb moment, I had one of those just today on the game I was playing. So I'll get to that in a little bit. What were you about
Okay.
to say?
Oh, I was just gonna say, I know you guys are planning on trying to do the Borderlands series soon. I know I was in talks of that, so I'll definitely chat with you guys about maybe being a fourth for Borderlands if you because I know you guys brought it up a while back, and I was like, I don't know what my
Yes.
nights will be like, but maybe I'll be able to squeeze a night and join y'all for Borderlands because I love Borderlands.
Okay. I've had fun playing it in co-op, but I've spent 95% of my time playing Borderlands 1 and 2 solo, and it was very boring and I did not enjoy it.
What? I've played all the Okay, I've only played Borderlands 1, 2, and the pre-sequel. Okay, I guess. Yeah, I played the first 3 completely solo, and I had the most fun ever. I don't know why.
I did not
Dude,
enjoy my solo time, but I did it because I was like, I'm gonna complete these for the achievements. So
I loved it. I
but if
actually
I had
like.
played it entirely in co-op, I would have a much better mental perception of the Borderlands games.
I I started playing 3 co-op with Insidious and DJ, and the one thing I don't like really about it is the fact that like someone else can run and fetch a quest and talk to someone, but I'll be like in the middle of a menu or something like that and I'll like completely miss it. So I'm like missing story
I
plot,
I think
which
that goes for all the Borderlands games.
right. But that's why I'm saying like I played I played all the Borderlands solo, so I had to walk up to each guy and listen to everything he said, which sure Borderlands isn't big story or like very the greatest story or anything like that, but I like being the one to interact with everything, and when there's 3
I
of us and
totally
each
get it.
guy's running interacting with 2 different quests and we're all running around doing different quests, I'm like, this seems a little discombobulated.
Yes. Yep.
So
That's
but I'm like,
definitely something that comes inherent with co-op open world games.
yes, and yeah, that exactly. Just open world co-op games in general do that, but I'm like I said, I'm just used to playing through Borderlands by myself, so I'm just not used to all that chaos, but
The only
I'm
thing that got me through Borderlands 2 solo was Gage the Necromancer, so that I could have my Death Claw go and aggro everything so I could
yeah.
shoot stuff without getting killed instantly, constantly.
I for Borderlands 1 and 2, I always picked the turret guy, the
Oh,
commando, so that I always felt like I was playing 2
next
players
time
anyway.
when I played Borderlands 1, I played as Brick,
Okay.
the tank, and I didn't realize it because I thought he was like, what my idea of him was basically what the Gunzerker was in Borderlands 2, where he would go crazy with weapons, but when he does his super, he just starts punching everything. And I'm like, oh, well, that's not what I was expecting at all. That's kind of lame. So
Right.
whenever I do get back to playing Borderlands 1 again, I'm definitely playing the soldier because I want to play the guy with the turret. And then when I
Yeah.
play Borderlands 2, I'm going to play the Gunzerker because when I played Borderlands 2, I played it as I could just have Gage the Necromancer.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. I'm a turret guy. I love throwing out turrets. That's like In any game, if there's a character that could throw out a turret, that's my thing. I'm like, here, you go do the work. I'm gonna go figure out something else to do. Like Insidious just said, Paul in the middle of a menu while everyone else plays the game. That's right. I throw out a turret. Yeah, you don't say. I throw out a turret. It does its job. I go in the menu. I do what I got to do.
In Borderlands, two people can't play the same character, right?
They can. Yes, they can.
They can. Okay.
Yep. You could have everybody with turrets.
The same character. Okay.
Turrets all around.
I wasn't sure. So, all right.
Because there's so many different skins, I believe, that it's easy to be like, oh, I'll be the same class, but we'll totally look different.
And the fact that there's basically in one class, at least from what I remember, because it's been like a decade since I played it, you could have different like skill trees essentially within your class.
Yeah. I'm laughing at Mo.
Yeah, so I want to go catch up on chat here real quick.
Hell yeah.
So Mo's in chat. What's up, Mo Zamboni?
Mo
Zamboni. Great meeting
Zamboni.
you last week, buddy. But let's see. So dude already left, but he went over to Melee Bandits, which will be, or at least I will. I don't know about Paul. He probably will be as well. But that's where we'll head.
I need to hear about the Super Sega. I need to know what's going on with Alejandro.
We'll be heading over to Melee Madness after we're done here, and I'll try to point you guys there as well. But he says he was talking about Zelda. The item selection menu is terrible when you have more than 10 weapons.
Yeah.
And the tablet in the game is supposed to be the Wii U tablet. So
yeah. That's
Dawn of Mutilation was saying that the Dark Brotherhood questline in Oblivion was so good. I played it, but it was so long ago I vaguely remember it. And he says that if you need a good short game, Syndicate. I remember that game coming out and I was very interested in it, but I never actually played it. And I was like, I think I just bought that on GOG not too long ago, but I went and pulled up my GOG library. It was not Syndicate. It was Singularity is what I bought on GOG recently, which is another short shooter that I was very interested in, but I never had a chance to play. So I'm looking forward to playing that.
Syndicate is the EA game? I think it's an EA game. No, I'm confused because I did actually start
Singularity. I started typing Syndicate. Syndicate or Singularity is Activision. Oh, that's why. It's because it's developed by Raven, and Raven was a great studio before they got relegated to Call of Duty maps.
Right.
And Syndicate is EA. Yes, Starbreeze Studios.
I actually started playing Syndicate, but I was playing on the Bone, the Xbox One, and there was some performance issues, but the game was a lot of fun. I got maybe a quarter of the way there. It was a lot of fun.
Singularity, at least on the Xbox side of things, is Singularity is not backwards compatible, but Syndicate is backwards compatible. However, Syndicate has multiplayer achievements, and the servers are offline, so there's a bunch of discontinued achievements.
Womp womp.
So, and Syndicate is also a series of older titles that are more of like an XCOM top-down squad shooter sort of thing. So,
hell yeah.
And Christian saying that he's planning on completing his Mass Effect 2 Paragon playthrough. Excellent. That is awesome. I'm very much looking forward to playing through all of the Mass Effects again when I get to the Legendary Edition, because it's been forever since I've played through the campaigns.
I gotta play Mass Effect 2. I mean, as well. All of them.
Yeah.
The whole trilogy.
And Christian says that Borderlands 2 is his favorite of the Borderlands games. So cool. Hey, Comics Dad is here as well. What's up, Comics Dad? Good to see you again.
He was on
Good evening.
Hump Day Chinwag yesterday.
And
on ABS or the
he was on
GCA.
Late and Gay last night.
He had 2 shows yesterday. Good stuff.
So
GFY.
one thing I was gonna mention at the intro, well, 2 things. One is that it's you, like I said, you've been on a few episodes of Party Chat, but this is your second episode, your first return to Open Mic, and you were my second ever guest on Open Mic after James and Kay, which is my very first. My very first episode of Open Mic was just solo. My first guest was James and Kay, and then you were my second guest.
And I was in my car that one, right?
You were in your car, and you were wearing your Demons t-shirt.
I couldn't make it home in time. I was like, oh no, I'm not going to make it. So this is my first Party Chat in front of proper equipment. Let's go. Open mic. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was August 3rd or 4th of 2023. So close to 2, a year and a half ago, coming up on 2 years ago.
Wow.
So good to have you back on an Open Mic.
But
Comics Dad came in and reminded me because I was just on Off the Hip on Monday night, and Nerd Slap does, shout out to Nerd Slap because he did my open mic intro, and he does the intros for Off the Hip and stuff as well.
Hell yeah.
And on the Off the Hip intro, he face swapped me with Tom Cruise in the beginning of Top Gun Maverick when he's flying the experimental plane, which is great because, you flew down there, so you were able to, be in a plane and, edit on your phone and play your Switch. I drove, but when I was out in the middle of the desert where there was nothing for miles, I watched a movie on my phone while I was driving, and it was Top Gun Maverick.
That's hilarious. That is
so
awesome.
It was. I told them that on Off the Hip the other night. It's like, that's very fortuitous or serendipitous or whatever the word you want to use.
Yeah,
putting my face on Maverick and Top Gun Maverick because that's literally the movie I watched while I was on my way down there because I freaking love that movie. It's probably one of my favorite movies of the last half decade, easily, possibly the last decade. I love that movie so much.
I haven't seen any Top Gun movies. I am ashamed.
There's only 2, but
I haven't seen either of them.
The first Top Gun was one of my favorite movies as a kid because it was one that me and my dad really loved. So I love the original Top Gun. So when they were announcing they're doing a sequel 35 years later or whatever it is, I was very, especially with the way that movies had gone or the direction that movies were heading at the time, I'm like, great, they're gonna ruin it and it's gonna suck. And it got delayed like 3 years because of COVID. I was like, I had no hope for it at all, and then it came out and it was freaking awesome, and I was so happy.
I'm very happy for the Top Gun fans that they nailed it. Even brought back Val Kilmer for one more.
Had a very excellent, basically because we knew his health in real life wasn't that good either. So the tribute to him in movie was excellent. And we just lost him like a week or 2 ago.
Yeah.
So that was I don't know if that was his last movie appearance. I would venture a guess that it was, and they did a great way of paying tribute to him in that movie.
Legendary, amazing. Yeah, I gotta watch those movies for sure.
Mo's like, yeah, and Nerd Slap puts me on nothing but crap.
Dang it, Nerd Slap.
The last third of Maverick is Chef's Kiss. The whole freaking movie. I love that movie.
Right.
Better than the first one, absolutely. The first one is great. I love it, but this one is better than the first one. I agree with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
yeah.
So a couple things that I wrote down so I wouldn't forget. While we were
chatting about everything,
try and go through our trip, and we haven't even gotten to
we've
basically gotten to you landing in Vegas. So
that's right.
But talking about some of the things that we mentioned that I wanted to touch on was our slap bet because we still haven't figured out. I'm gonna write that down. We can maybe figure it out off screen, but
we'll figure out our pickle bet.
Pickle bet with Paul
Subnautica 2
sub 2 co-op. So I'll write that down so we can talk about it behind the scenes if we need to. But we're all big fans of How I Met Your Mother, and that's how I got my pre-YouTube name was Brobafett, was because we were all big fans of How I Met Your Mother, and since I was a Star Wars guy, I got dubbed Brobafett. But we had slap bets for everything, and there were 2 of my buddies had a slap bet between each other because this was while How I Met was airing, and the slap bet was whether Barney ended up with Nora. You would think that it would be like, it would be one would be if he ended up with Nora, or the other would be if he ended up with Robin. But the slap bet ended up being whether he ended up with Nora or not. So if it wasn't Nora, if it was literally anything else, he's lost the slap bet, and he ended up losing the slap bet. And so they cashed in. I have it on video because it was the slap bet. It was great because they basically cashed in the slap bet at my college graduation party, and my friends were over and had a bunch of family, and they were all like, "She just slapped the bejesus out of that guy," because they weren't expecting it, like him to be like really, and he put his like full force into it. It was hilarious, and everyone's like, they were like kind of like shocked and stunned. It's like, this is normal for us. So
oh no, yeah,
it was hilarious.
That's great.
But Jennifer Connelly was great in that. Yes, and it's funny because Tom Cruise is like an alien or something. He's barely aged in the 35 years since the first one came out, and Kelly McGillis, who was his love interest in the first one, did not age very well, to put it nicely. So that's why they didn't bring her back. And Jennifer Connelly has also aged very well. So she was a great pick for that movie. Her character was in not like in there was no one playing her character in the first one, but her character was mentioned in the first one. So they didn't actually have anybody cast as her character, but her character was mentioned. And then they did a great casting of picking her because she's aged very well as well to play that character with Tom Cruise. And yeah, the F-14, absolutely, I freaking love it. Before when I was in high school, if you asked me what I was going to do after high school, when I hands down, no doubt about it, I was going to go to the Air Force and I was going to be a fighter pilot because I love jets and planes. That didn't happen, and I'm not too torn up that it didn't happen. I mean, it would be awesome to fly jets and stuff, but obviously that didn't happen. But yeah, I love jets and planes, and like I know a lot of stuff, off the top of my head about them. So,
did you ever fly anything?
I mean, I've been on commercial planes. Have I ever been on? I've been on a helicopter tour.
But you haven't been like co-pilot to anything, or never even like started taking a class or anything like that?
No, but that is in the back of my mind because on my drive to and from Vegas, I had an idea for what I think would be an awesome business, but it would require me to get a pilot's license. So
there you go.
Like I said, I'm unemployed right now, and I'm kind of at a crossroads because I'm an idea guy, and I don't really want to go back to being an employee. I want to start something, do my own thing, be my own boss, and I've got lots of ideas. So I don't know where that's going to take me, but I've got one of them involves flying. So
there you go. Do them all.
But shout out to my party chat co-host Ryan. He is in the process of getting his pilot's license.
Shout out to Ryan. He's doing great.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Comment says I have so much lore to learn about all the GCA Discord members. Yeah. So
I gotta hang out with y'all in the GCA. I always see them hanging out, watching movies and stuff like that. I'm gonna be popping in there more often and invading your all's territory.
Yeah, I've had most of the off the hip and late and gay guys on for open mic, but not all of them yet. I haven't had Hayden on yet, and I've been meaning to get him on. But yeah, so we had a great slap bet, and it was hilarious, and all the people in my family were like shocked, like he just slapped the bejesus out of him. It was great. And then the other thing, when you mentioned like the light bulb moment with the crafty thing, is I just had that today with the game I'm currently playing because I'm panic playing it, which I always tribute that to you because that was your term, and I love it. So anytime, for anyone who doesn't know, that term was coined by Paul here.
Because I was just smoking what I normally smoke, and it just came out of my mouth. Like, you ever panic play something that's leaving Game Pass soon?
Yeah, so Game Pass, you get a 2-week warning on all the games that are leaving either in the middle of the month or the end of the month. So I'm always keeping my eye on that because right now I'm not starting anything new unless it's something that I want to play and it's about to leave Game Pass.
Yeah.
So I'm panic playing because it's leaving at the end of the month and it's a Metroidvania, so I absolutely have to play it. And it's the last case of Benedict Fox. And so I haven't been enjoying it as much as I anticipated. And the intro of the game doesn't do a great job of explaining a lot of things because I did look at the walkthrough on True Achievements, and one of the missable achievements is you have to buy all the upgrades. And what that entails is you get basically these magical tattoos that give you new abilities, and each one costs a certain amount of ink, essentially, because they're tattoos. So that makes sense. However, it does not explain the ink system to you at all. And so after playing it for a couple hours, I kind of had the light bulb moment of like, oh, I get how this works now. And I started the game over again because it's missable. Because if you don't do it right, you won't even have enough drops of ink in the game to be able to buy all the tattoo upgrades. So having already played through a decent chunk of the beginning of the game, I restarted and I was able to catch up to where I was in about an hour, but I had that light bulb moment. I'm like, oh, I get it now because the game didn't freaking explain it to me.
Yep. I would love to do I'd have to sit back and think, but there have been games where you're playing, you have that moment, you're like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing the whole time, or this is what the developers intended me to actually start doing. and then you're like, hold on, let me take what I know now, start from the
Restart.
beginning, and do it all over, and just make it way more streamlined, way more efficient. Just being way more efficient at the game. That's how I play a lot of
That's a
my
great
games.
question. I am writing it down as a potential party chat topic.
I don't know how to word it, but like games that you've learned the mechanics and started over. I don't know. There's better ways of wording it, but yeah, like those moments where you're like, I gotta start over because I've been playing this all wrong. But yeah, that is happens to me quite often, and I realize mid game, I'm like, if I want to have a not a bad time for the rest of this game, I probably need to start over and do it right.
That's an excellent party chat topic, and I wrote your name down, so if we ever get to it, I can give you your proper credit.
Thank you.
Like
Xavier.
this
Let's
topic
go.
was one that Paul came up with on open mic. So
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm sure we've all had those moments at least a couple times.
I've been because a lot of times I'll just like come up with something like it'll just like come to me in the middle of like eating breakfast. I'm like, oh, that's a great party chat topics, and I'll write it down. But other stuff, it'll be like game ranks videos. I'm watching a video that's like on a topic, and I'm like, oh, that would make a great topic for party chat. So I've been trying to do a better job of when I get the inspiration from somewhere, writing down where the inspiration came from. So when I talk about on party chat, I'd say this is where the idea came from.
Right on. So it doesn't feel like people aren't like assuming you're like, this guy steals his ideas. Like, no, I credit them. Stop yelling at me. People want to yell. Don't yell. But yeah, no, it's always good to credit people when you can.
So, all right.
But yeah, whenever you want to, I got this. We're talking about Vegas eventually.
Yes. So
And
okay, you got it.
I do have a video.
All right,
here.
world premiere.
Actually, I premiered it on Iron's show yesterday. And this isn't the final. This isn't the final video.
Is a rough cut in process.
It's pretty much the cut, but I need to narrate over it. So you're gonna just listen to Wii music as we listen to a bunch, or just watch a bunch of clips.
Oh,
but
before you, Comics Dad says that your Elden Ring stream is still live. Did you know that?
Oh, oh my God, I did forget to.
Thank you, Comics Dad.
Thank you. Oh my God, I forgot to hit end. It's been a week since I've played. It's been a week since I streamed. I forgot.
Has our open mic been on your Elden Ring stream this whole time?
No. It's just my Elden Ring. I forgot to hit end stream on YouTube and Rumble. When the stream is done. Oh, I guess Rumble ended it on its own. Good job, Rumble. Yeah, no, I have to manually end the stream through YouTube because that way, if I get a connection error, I could just it won't start another stream. So unless I forcibly, or as long as unless I manually end the stream, it won't create another stream. So thank you, Comics Dad.
All right.
Alrighty. So I will start right after I say welcome to Las Vegas, where people pee in the street and no one gives a F.
Look at all the pretty lights. I got a drink in my hand. It's 2 a.m. What the? We're gonna take a shot because that guy said so.
Shout out to Brad, Duke Devil.
What's up, Duke Devil? Good
Duke
to meet
Devil. Yeah, it was legendary. He is literally the reason why Dermy had a woman's he's not the reason. He just exacerbated things. He just made it worse because that night right there was hilarious. It was me, Static.
Was that Tuesday night when you got in?
No, this was Thursday night.
Oh, this
after the meetup.
This is after the meetup. Okay.
This is 2 a.m. after the meetup, I believe. And me, Steve, Static Gal, Duke Devil, Dermy. Am I missing someone? I think a couple other people were roaming around, but Cash and Kel, I think we may have just said bye to them.
Okay.
I think we had some hot dogs and then we started walking this way. But Brad did the most baller thing. Later in the video, you're gonna see Dermy with some girl in like black spandex trying to solicit money from him, trying to whore herself out, actually, and Brad, to make things worse, because Gal pointed this girl. Steve winked at this girl. This girl. Then he pointed at Gal. She went over to Gal, said something to Gal. Gal pointed at Dermy. She went over to Dermy. Dermy didn't know what to do, and Brad made things worse by coming up to me, and he's like, "Hold my beer." So I held his beer.
Literally hold my beer.
He pulled out his wallet. I gave him back his beer, and he walked over and handed Derby some money and made things worse for that whole scenario. So Brad was a top G right there at that moment. It was hilarious. But yes, the meaning of
the Wii music.
Yes. And I didn't call this the FNT meetup because nowhere in this video is anyone from FNT, nor have I did I speak to anyone from FNT during this whole thing? So to me, this is just the meeting of the nerds.
I talked to Ryan. He was really the only one I wanted to talk to.
I spoke with Ryan, but I never introduced myself. I just had a quick chat with him right after Vagabond ran like a bat out of hell to do his Mexican square dancing. It was hilarious. Oh my gosh. I met a lot of interesting people in person, and I loved every minute of it. But yes, just some random footage. I'm going to put some goofy commentary over this. It's going to be funny. It's not going to be accurate. It's going to be silly. But yeah, that was the crowd. Dermy, Steve.
Oh, yeah, there's Dermy.
There's Motley Crue. It was not really them.
Hey, Steve.
Static. Yeah, same crowd from that night. Then that's the meetup.
Hey, there's
itself.
Snap.
Shaka Zulu and Snap.
I was gonna say, I don't know. Is Shock okay with being outed?
Oh yeah. He streams with his face. When he streams games, he shows his face. Yes. Sure. And if he doesn't, if he's mad about it, he can
take it up with Paul.
Yeah, you could take it up with me, and I will have a private conversation, and I'll have some words to say. No, I'm joking. These drinks that we're drinking were $2 mystery shots. So I filmed it, our live reaction of what they were, and I'm pretty sure it was just Gatorade. And I get made. I like that.
That's a good one, Snap. I love the little like.
What's that?
I love that little like effect you put on it out of an anime.
It seemed pretty.
Oh, was that at the meetup?
This is at the meetup, so
that
yeah.
looks like the meetup. Okay.
Yep. You can see.
That's funny. You're like, where'd Neo go? You didn't know that there was like. Not only did it go, the building went really far back. There was also a side patio. So I was talking to a bunch of people.
Yeah, I mostly hung out on this like patio area. I did not know that the thing went all the way down there. Another room in the back, another an outdoor area way out there. Yeah, it took me like a half hour to realize that there's more to the place than just here. But yeah, I was pretty sure that drink that lady gave us was just Gatorade, and Shock had words to say about that we're on Neo's channel, so maybe I shouldn't play that part. And this is the gun shooting.
This is where Paul almost shot everyone.
I did. Mo Zamboni, you turn away. This is gonna give you. Man, I showed this to so many people, and they're like, "You're holding that gun wrong." I'm like, "I know, I know.
My first time.
It's my first time. Leave me alone."
I popped Paul's bullet cherry.
That's right. My bullet cherry was popped, and was a lot of fun, man. This is super awesome. Oh yeah, and then
yeah, that was.
So in the video, my idea for the commentary, I'm gonna something along the lines of like, "Oh, I went to go shoot. They gave me a little gun, and I asked if they had something bigger, and then that's what I'm gonna cut to. And they said yes, and then I'm gonna cut to that."
Yeah, so if for anyone who doesn't know, after he did unload the magazine, but after that he didn't put the gun down on the table. He turned around with the gun in his hand where everybody was standing right behind him.
Yes, that was the 44. It was the 44 we
Oh,
were
that right. It was
shooting.
the 44, not the
Yeah,
I
I
think
got
that's a 9
excited.
mil that
I
you're
got
shooting
too
with.
excited after the 44 because I watched you shoot the 44, and then I watched Mo Zamboni shoot the 44, and both of y'all, when you shot, y'all did this, bam, and your left hand just went wild. And I was like, I'm gonna make sure not to do that. So when I shot, I like held on to like the wrist of my hand so my left hand didn't just go crazy. So I shot it, and I did, I my arms didn't flail about, and I was so excited that I turned around and I was like, at least my left arm didn't go. "Whoa." But
And
everybody's
everyone's
like,
like,
"Turn the
"Whoa,
fuck
keep the gun over
around."
there."
Yeah, I got too
Uh,
excited and turned around and pointed it right at Mo Zamboni. So now every time he sees me or in chat or whatever, he ducks. That's why he wrote. Ducks.
Yeah, that's why he
That was
wrote
the first thing he
when
wrote.
he popped into chat.
And I also tag him. I tag him and I just post a bunch of guns. It's water guns now because dang YouTube
Oh yeah,
and
the
everybody
stupid emojis. They
emojis. It's
changed.
only water guns, but yeah, there's a lot of. We're just razzing each other, just a little bit of razzing.
Yeah,
But yes,
so,
the
it was awesome. Yeah, keep it going. Yeah,
Woo!
Hadouken! That was great. So we got
I-
to shoot ABF's giant 50 cal Barrett. That thing was awesome.
it crazy. I was
I was
nervous.
surprised at how little recoil that giant gun has.
We say that, but watch, like, stare at the ground when it goes off.
Yeah, you can see all of
Jeez.
the dirt moving stuff
Just
out of the way.
It just kicks up. It's so wild. Like,
It's somehow the way they designed the barrel and most of the recoil, because at the tip of the barrel are like vents that are facing backwards, and so most of the recoil basically vents sideways out of those vents. So that's why there's actually not a whole lot of recoil on the gun itself.
yeah. Comics does it. Paul, what the fuck, dude? Don't do that. Hey, I was excited. I know, a party foul. We party foul. You learn once, and it's never happening
while
again.
we're on the topic here, I've got mine right here. Do you have yours?
Iron and Selena are shipping it to me because I was too scared.
Yeah, I forgot. You were wondering how you're going to get it back. So, unfortunately, I was
Yes.
driving, so I just took it with me. So, this is
You
the
just-
shell casing of the one that I fired. Paul got to keep his as well. So
yeah,
I've got mine right up here.
Iron Oxide and Selena, shout out to them. They're gonna ship it to me because everyone when we were out there in the desert, I was talking to everyone. I'm like, can I fly with this? Are they gonna stop me? Everyone kept saying, just say it's a souvenir, you'll be fine, no problem. But then I spoke with Iron and Selena, and they're like, no, don't go through the airport. Just, here, we'll ship it to you. Just don't go through the airport. They'll make you throw it away or whatever. I'm like, oh, well, I don't want to throw it away. So I'm like, can you guys ship it? And they're like, yeah, no problem. So
Awesome.
it is on its way, and I do want that. Yeah, it's a 50 cal and a 44.
Yeah, I've got, so right next to it, this one's the 44, and this is the 357. I've got the other 357s right here, which is what you're about on the next frame here.
Yes,
I was firing.
This is what Nerdy Dio was firing.
Yeah,
look at
that's
him.
the 357. I've got those shells right here, right now.
Yep.
So that one felt great. The 44 that you were just talking about, that had a lot of recoil on it.
Yeah.
The 357 did not have a whole lot of recoil.
Yeah. I like this.
Not as bad as I was expecting.
You didn't see, but the way I thought this was funny. And then I just like, thumbs up. I don't know. I thought that was goofy.
Funny.
Now this is, oh yeah, look at all the toys.
Yeah, this was awesome. That shotgun, that's a shotgun right there. That thing was pretty cool.
Hold on, when I come back down on it right there.
Yeah.
That's centered. I shot that. I've told the story on my stream earlier today. I will tell it again. With that shotgun, Neo, who did it first? I think it was Kratos.
I don't think I shot it first, but I shot it like right before you did.
Yes. No, I know. Kratos was first, and then like, who wants to go? And then you're like, I'll go. And then they're like, Paul, you gotta have to go after him. I'm like, okay, sure. So Neo goes up, ready to shoot. again, he knows what he's doing. He's an expert at all these things.
I'm not an
assuming
expert. I'm just, decently experienced.
he's decently experienced. I, being an absolute noob, had no experience. So when I saw Neo go up with that shotgun, he gets ready. He's aiming, fires. He like gets a big recoil, like shot back,
It was
and
a
he goes,
12 gauge, so it had a lot of recoil.
had a lot of recoil, and Neo goes just like this. He goes, "Ow!
Right in the
Ow! Why did you yell ow?"
the
was
recoil.
That scared me to bejesus. I was like,
It was like like a playful, not like ow. It was like ow sort of thing,
I get it, but you do it again, like, ow! I'm like, what are you saying ow for? Is it really that? Does it hurt that much? So I was very scared. You scared the bejesus out of me.
Mission accomplished.
And then I was like, I'm next. Oh no! But I just, it's funny because everybody's like, oh, take a picture of your chest right here, and it's gonna be bruised. But surprisingly, I got enough fat and jiggle that I could absorb most of it. So I just kind of like right before I shot, I kind of like not tensed up, but kind of like leaned into like whatever recoil is gonna come at you to kind of
anyways.
Exactly. So I kind of muscle, from feeling it out, you're like kind of get an idea of how to like control the recoil and not be so bad. So it was not that bad. You just terrified me by screaming,
so
ow.
He fired it right after me, and then he had the same reaction I had when I was firing the 357. He's like, oh, that wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it was not that bad at all. And then same thing with the 50 cal. I was like, is this gonna be bad? And even in the video, you see it like kind of jiggle me and stuff, but that wasn't that bad either.
I can't see my mouse. Oh, your mouse though. Right above it, the one that's with the handle facing the other way. That not the revolver, the one with the suppressor on it.
Suppressor. Oh, this thing.
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. That was I think that was a modified Mac 11 that fired 9mm rounds, and that thing was really cool.
Heck
it was full auto too, so that thing was
yeah. Is that the one that was like super fast?
Yeah.
Did someone have an extended mag and just like went crazy with it?
I think so.
I think so. That was awesome. That was awesome.
Like freaking sweet. Now I feel bad about not coming. You should have been there, Vanquish. Would have been great to meet you.
It was definitely a ball. It was a blast. I did not know what to expect going out there, and expectations.
It was funny because there was a bunch of stuff where people post like, "Hey, here's things that you can basically sign up for, almost like you're on a like a cruise." Or here's all of our activities. They put all these things on Discord, like, "Hey, here you can sign up for these things," and like a lot of them didn't actually happen.
Yeah,
and this was not one of them. So people like met up with them. It was a Thursday morning or late afternoon or early afternoon. Yeah. And some people were like, "Hey, yeah, some of us are gonna go shooting." I'm like, "Wait, that's an option? I want to go shooting." So that was fortunate that it turned out that we were able to go shooting.
I did see. Was it the fellowship Discord that you were talking about that had all the things?
Yes,
of stuff to do. The gun was on there. I think that's how I learned about it. Oh, okay, maybe you just missed it, but I definitely did see it on there, and that's why I was like, oh, I want to do that. I'm down for that. Let's go.
So did someone sponsor? So a bunch of people who also drove brought all their guns and ammo. So it was compliments of multiple people.
Oh yeah. We had, and then there's a bunch on the table that was off in the cars. Professor Savage Dad had a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, there was more than what you see here too. So
yeah, this was just what's on the table.
It was awesome.
It was great. So this is my favorite part.
Yeah, that's 357.
No. When Professor Savage Dad's little
you got
floaty flew away.
So Savage Dad had this little inflatable thing, so he was sitting on it, and it got super freaking windy that day, and so it blew away, and we grabbed it, and then he shoved it into his truck, and then it blew out of the truck, and it blew away. Fortunately, someone went, and I think it was Kel went and found it afterwards.
Yeah, I have that.
Yeah, it blew away. He had to go.
This is what this moment and this shot that I got from this moment was kind of what inspired the whole video, because it was just such a perfect shot that you're about to see right now, and I just thought that this was so.
Oh yeah,
I was laughing at Professor all day, like all week since I met him, because he's shorter than I thought, and he just reminds me of a baby. I don't know why, like a giant baby. He had his giant
Giant baby.
gallon thing of he had like a thermos that was like 2 gallons, and he's just drinking from his. He's looking like Tommy Pickles from Rugrats every time Tommy Pickles drinks from his bottle. He looks just like that. I'm like, everything he does, even when he busted out that inflatable thing, he's sitting on it with his legs like flying way above his head. And I'm like, why does he keep doing things that looks like a baby? So we've now dubbed him Professor Baby Daddy. And this
Baby
is
daddy. That has a totally different connotation.
I know, but it kind of works at the same time. And he is a baby daddy, so so it kind of it works in multiple ways. But I died laughing at this moment. It was just
All right.
normal. Everyone's shooting, and then everyone's like, "What? Uh-oh. Bed or seat on the field." But this.
I almost shot it too. It blew,
Oh, sorry.
it
Was
blew
it?
right in front of me, right as I was shooting the 357. I almost shot it.
And this was the second time it flew in front of the gun range, or where we were shooting. And the first time it flew out, I was screaming at everyone. I'm like, "Shoot it! Pop that sucker!" I wanted it to get popped so bad, but it did not get popped. And
It did get deflated, but
yes, but
not
that's
because it popped.
not because it popped, because it's like one of those things that like you could like
It basically like Velcro's shut.
yeah, you like kind of like swish it in the air, fill it up with air, tie it off, and then like yeah. So I guess the Velcro or something, or the knot just kind of got loose and let all the air out, but it did not break. But this just cracked me up. It was like,
How the fuck did that get out of my car?
Because it was literally in the bed of it. Like, he has like a camper shell, so it's not like an open pickup. So
Yeah,
it
and
was
he
like inside, and it still blew out.
he's just shoved it in there, and it just blew right out. It was very windy that day.
It was crazy windy. Fortunately,
yeah.
it didn't get. It was only lightly windy until like right at the very end. Then it got super windy.
Yeah. Luckily, it wasn't too bad in the beginning. Here we are just staring. Like, where's it going? Should we go off and get it? He's like, no, I'll get it later. Oh, in the video, I'm gonna joke and be like, he got mad, so I'm saying that he decided to try to shoot it. Like, oh, so he lost his little air floaty, so he got mad and decided to try to shoot it. But
didn't
no,
realize it
I
was
just
left-handed.
yeah, he shot left-handed. That was interesting. Like, no, just Josh, and we got his little air floaty. There's Kel.
That was at the end after we were cleaned up.
Yeah, we cleaned up. He got his little. Look, he looks like a baby there too. I don't know why. He just constantly reminded me of a big baby. It cracked me up. I love it. All right, random B footage. There's the wrestling we got to see. There's There's WrestleMania. Funny. This was the karaoke bar on Friday night. That's Vagabond doing the Mexican square dance.
Okay, I saw that guy, but I didn't know who he was.
Oh, Vagabond's a legend. He knows all about animes, and he's starting a podcast soon. Every time he comes on Beelzepub, he keeps telling us about animes, and we're like, "Are you sure that's an anime or is that hentai?" He's like, "I swear it's not hentai." So he's starting real soon. Vagabond's starting I swear it's not hentai podcast. So
So I remember hearing that. I think when I was on Off the Hip the other night.
okay,
I heard that somewhere. And,
yeah.
So that's literally what it's going to be called. That's funny.
It's literally he wants to, I honestly, I think the format of the show is bring people on that don't watch anime, try to explain one of these animes, and just get their genuine reaction, because that's what we do on the pub. He comes on, he starts explaining one of these animes, and we're like, bro, that sounds debaucherous and all sorts of wrong. What? Are you sure is this the right category? He's like, no, yeah, I swear it's just a regular anime. I'm really into romance animes. Not that kind. He swears it's not that kind, but yeah, Vagabond's awesome. He's a character. I love him. And then this is the infamous moment where Dermy got sicked on. some girl. I
Is
think
he
at this
wasted right now?
he is not that wasted.
Okay.
She is just trying to get money from him, and here we are, just like we're
This
like,
is
what?
essentially Steve's fault.
It did start off with Steve because Steve pointed at Gal, or he winked at her, and then pointed at Gal. She went to Gal. Gal said she asked if she wanted Gal to take a picture or something. Gal's like, no, no, no. So then she asks, "Oh, who's being naughty?" And she points at Dermy. Look at Dermy. He's yelling at. He's looking at Static and Gal off screen like, "What did you do?" He has pictures of. Oh, she also did like much like those wrestlers we saw earlier. She did a move where he had to lift her up and she put her legs around his head and Vegas, it's Vegas. So this is this is a great still image
Oh,
of
you
her.
still, yeah, 'cause-
I had to, it's so funny because it's like
yeah, 'cause her face.
caught me recording the whole thing. It was funny, but here's just a couple stills from. I love this picture because I took the picture of everyone's taking a photo, and I took everyone's back of their heads.
Everyone's looking at Devil's camera.
Everyone's looking the other way. I'm like, I'm gonna take a picture of the back of everyone's heads. But yeah, it was great. Got Devil. Snap again. We met up at the airport, hung out for a bit. That's Vagabond. And it was funny because Vagabond was on a podcast at the airport while we were sitting there waiting. He was on the For the Homies podcast.
Oh, from his phone?
From his phone, which BD Jake was on. It was Anime for the Homies specifically. And
Oh,
BD
right.
Jake,
I had heard about that one.
and BD Jake was on, and Vagabond's like, "Hey, you guys know Paul?" And BD Jake's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, he's right next to me." He's like, "What the? That's awesome." So yeah, I sat there and right as I was next to Vagabond, I was watching the stream, and he was on it while they were talking anime and stuff. It's a lot of fun, and this was my flight out of there. Goodbye.
I never did see the orb.
I got to see the orb as I was flying away. It was pretty cool. Pretty cool. A lot cooler than what Chicago has, a metallic bean. I took a scooter from the airport.
That face is hilarious.
Beerus was not impressed. Beerus is like, "You're home? Give me some food." The end.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad you did that.
I'm going
Oh,
to...
that's not right.
Yep.
There we go. That's better.
Yeah, I gotta add some commentary over it. It's gonna be a little silly, but I love the little collection of videos I put together. It was a 4-minute video. I'm like, I'm excited to. I put on the flight back, even as I was taking the photo of me flying, or the video of me flying away. I'm like, all right, cool. I can add this to the video. And as I was editing it right there as I was sitting on the plane, yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That's
Vegas was
great.
fun.
Yeah, so Devil and I came picked you up on Tuesday night, and we hung out for pretty late. Probably like, I think I left around 1 or 1:30.
Yeah, and there was like a good hour there that I disappeared because I was getting set up in Kratos'.
You guys were
room.
doing arts and crafts.
We were doing arts and
That's
crafts
right.
because we were supposed to do a Devil's Get Ranked, but
and
that
that
never
didn't even happen.
didn't even happen. Next day, we were sitting there with cookies. Like, where is everybody? I guess we're eating cookies for breakfast. It was a Cookies Get Ranked, and we never got to do it.
Yeah, so then Wednesday morning, Paul was supposed to be on Party Chat, but with Static and I, and Static made it, and he grabbed Dom H, and Dom's
Dom's
H
a legend.
a surprise appearance on Party Chat. Oh, Comics Dad's heading out. Good night, Comics Dad. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good night, buddy. And so Party Chat was myself, Static, Dom, and Dutch Butters from Salty Nerd Podcast. But it was supposed to be Paul.
And
then
sorry.
I hung out the rest of the day. I hung out with family. I didn't hang out with anybody, so I don't know what you guys did on Wednesday.
Wednesday, the night before the meetup, Wednesday night. I can't remember. I'm
Or
pretty
just
sure.
Wednesday in general, because you were supposed to do the Get Ranked on Devil's Channel, and that didn't happen.
Yeah. So I woke up late, missed your show, continued to nap, woke up, get ready to do the cookies thing. That fell through. So that's 2 back-to-back things that fell through. One of them not my fault. I was there for the cookies.
Let's see
And
where your
then
priorities lie.
Hey, all right. So all right, I'll be 100% honest. We were at the hotel bar till 6 in the morning with
Oh my
Steve,
goodness. 6?
but I still
Jeez.
managed to wake up. Well, if I would have, I still would have managed to
You
wake
only
up.
woke up a few minutes late, but
I only woke up.
it was too late.
It was a little too late, but if my alarm had gone off, I would have been able to wake
Did
up.
it not go off, or you said it went off, but it was so quiet you didn't hear it because you turned the volume down?
Yes, I will. Yeah, that correction. Yes, it did go off, but if anyone has an Android
Throwing
phone,
your phone under the bus. It's like, no, I did my job.
I did my job. Actually, I half did my job. No, but if you have an Android phone, you know if your alarm goes off, then it automatically just lowers it and lowers it and lowers the volume. And if you don't,
That's so dumb. It should be the opposite. It should get louder until it wakes you up.
facts.
That's the
And
dumbest thing ever.
that wasn't even then. It wasn't that it was playing and it was lowering. It was lowered from the last time I had my alarm set before I even left for Vegas.
So when it started off, it was already pretty low.
So exactly. So there many times when I set the alarm, I have to remember to also raise the alarm volume, and that I missed that step before falling asleep. But I was also pretty drunk with Steve at 6 o'clock in the morning. We walked out of the hotel bar and saw that it was already like getting light and the sun was coming up, and we just looked at each other and started laughing, and we're like, oh no. And I kept looking at my phone. I'm like, oh, 4 a.m. Okay, I could, if I pass out real soon, I'll have plenty of time. And then I look again. I'm like, it's 6 a.m. I think we gotta go, bro. The sun's coming up. So that was a little bit of just Vegas fun. Getting it got to me. My responsibilities. I neglected my responsibilities for fun, and I am ashamed.
So,
but I would have still made it if the other things aligned. Like I said,
I was thinking about it on my way back. I'm like, I only had 2 drinks the entire time I was in Vegas.
Oh yeah.
On Wednesday when I was hanging out with family, me and my uncle, who lives here in Sacramento, but he was down there as well, and my 2 cousins who live in Vegas. The 4 of us met up and we had cigars and some drinks on Wednesday afternoon. So that was one of them. And then I had 1 drink at the actual meetup. That's because Alex bought me one. So shout out to Alex.
Nice. Yes, everybody. Since this was my first meetup, and I was meeting up, everyone. Steve kept buying me drinks. Shock kept buying me drinks. So everybody just wanted to keep buying me drinks, and I'm like, if it's in my hand, I'm not gonna say no. Like,
yeah, I was like, if you give me a drink, I'll drink it. But I just ended up only having 2. So
right on. Yeah, I drank. Man, yeah. First night, I remember Wednesday. I do remember. The only thing I remember about Wednesday is we got to bed 1 hour earlier than the night before. So Tuesday night,
5 a.m.
Yeah, 5. And then Thursday, I got to bed at 4 a.m. I remember I got to bed an hour earlier each night, and then Friday, I stopped drinking on Friday and Saturday. I did not have any more drinks. I didn't drink at the karaoke bar, which was Friday night. I'm like, I'm good. I had enough the first 3 days, and I've already just drunkenly stumbled down Fremont Street multiple times. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. And I'm not much of a drinker. Like I'm mostly social. I'm mostly just social drinking. And since we were being extra social, I was being extra drunk.
So yeah, that's basically almost the only time I ever have alcohol is usually with a cigar, and I don't have those very often. So
I'm getting mad because apparently Insidious is claiming that there's a setting that I could change for alarms to stop do that. Well, I'm learning this now, Insidious. Okay, thank you. I'm gonna.
Plus, you're gonna have to show him how to use his phone.
I'll look it up. Thank you,
alarms.
Insidious. Now I could turn that setting off.
So Yeah,
Alright.
Wednesday, hung out with family, and then I didn't go out. I was just like, I don't really want to go out tonight, so I just hung out at my cousin's house. And then Thursday, met up with everyone late morning, I think it was, and then we're hanging around like, what are we gonna do? And then that's where uh, ended up going shooting, and then
Nice.
so we went Thursday afternoon, basically right before the meetup, and then basically went. We did meet back, and then we went to the meetup together that night, and that was a lot of fun. I've talked to a crap load of people. I was surprised that my I didn't lose my voice. I figured on not that I had anyone to talk to because I drove back Friday morning, so I spent most of the day on Friday driving. It's not like I had
Got
to
to
be on a
rest your
show or
voice.
anything to talk to
Yeah.
anybody. But I was surprised on Friday morning. I didn't lose my voice because I was talking to so many people all night.
Oh yeah, I almost lost my voice that night as well. Yeah, because it was so loud in there, you had to scream in order to talk. And
It was nice. The little side patio area was not quite as loud, so I didn't have to talk as loud, but it was cool.
Yeah.
I got to say hi to. Basically tried to say hi at least to everybody that I recognized, and I did that for the most part. There's a few people. I was like, "Hey, I'm Nerdy Neil," and they're like, "Oh, I know you." I'm like, "You do?" I was
Yeah.
shocked that a bunch of people like I knew them, but I was like, "There's no way they knew who I am." They're like, "Oh yeah, I recognize your name from chat." I'm like, "Really?" I mean, I haven't been in chat for like a year, and you still remember me? It was kind of cool.
That's hilarious. Dawn of Mutilation,
Don, good
5
night,
a.m.
Don. Good to see you. Oh, are you across the pond as well? I
He
didn't
is
realize
cross
that.
the pond, Germany, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Another
I'll
the
make a mental note
Germans.
of that. So good. Have a good one, Don. Go get some sleep. Always good to see you here. So have a good
5
one.
a.m. That's perfect time to go to sleep. That's what I was doing in Vegas.
So, but yeah, that was fun. Oh yeah, so because there was supposed to be a pre-meetup dinner, and I think that didn't happen.
Yes,
Some
'cause
people were like, "There's food at the venue," and other people were like, "There's not food at the venue." And then when we got there, the line to get in was super long. So we're like, I don't want to risk it, get in, and then like not be able to, leave to go get food and then not be able to come back here. So we went across the street to Jack in the Box. We ate first. And by the time we were done eating, the line to get in was like super short, so we didn't have to wait
Yeah.
that long.
yeah,
And neither of us had reservations. I went like a couple months ago to put a reservation down for me, and it was already booked up. So I was like, I know on previous meetups there's people hanging out outside the whole time. So even if I can't get in, it'll still be a lot of fun. Fortunately, there were people who were like, "Hey, I have reservations for like 4 or 5 people," and so you and
yeah,
whoever wants to use it. So we were able to get in and
yeah.
I
Shout out
had a blast. So shout out to
to
ABF
ABF and Yo
and Yo
Pops.
Pops,
They had
who are
extra
also,
guests.
not only were they the reasons we got into the venue, they were also the big reason why we were able to go shooting that day as well.
Yes.
So shout out to them.
Big ups to them. Hell yeah, that was a lot of fun, and it all worked out like so perfectly. Like when I love it when a plan comes together. We're like we're sitting there like this line's long. We're just standing. There's a Jack in the Box. I've never been. I'm starving. Let's go. We just run across.
You've never had Jack in the Box before?
We don't have Jack in the Box here in Chicago.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah,
like,
it's I
wow,
think
you've
it's
never had Jack in the Box. If you don't
think
have
it's a
one, that
West
would make a
Coast.
lot of sense.
Yeah, it's a West Coast thing. Yeah, I think. Yeah. So it was all right. I'm nothing to brag about, nothing to complain about. It was perfect
Jack
at the
Box
moment
is good.
because just a good cheap. It was the cheapest meal I had because it wasn't so close to the strip. Anything that's within the vicinity or on the strip is way overcharged, and for it being just a regular good old smash burger or whatever kind of burger it was.
Yeah.
Like,
So
yeah.
when I was talking about earlier about the amount that I spent, I probably spent $30 on food, probably $10 for lunch on my drive down, $10 for Jack in the Box for dinner that night, and then I probably about $10 for lunch on my drive back. So I was able to keep costs very, very low.
Right on. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. But yeah, that Thursday was a lot of fun after shooting, and then the meetup.
Thursday was awesome. It was such a good day.
It's funny because how do I explain it? Yeah, I lost you almost immediately once we got into the place. You just
I was out there in that patio area at the front for a few minutes, and then I'm like, I'm gonna go explore this place and see what's else. And I got stuck talking to a crap load of people for the next 3 hours.
You were being chatty with everyone. I just stuck with once I discovered the patio where you originally were standing. I'm like, oh, I like this spot. I'm gonna chill here. And that's where most of the people were anyway. That like Shock, Steve, Most of the people from the Oasis were chilling there, so I kind of just posted there. I didn't. The only person that I talked to and like introduced myself and had just a quick little words with was Shagsworth.
Okay.
I saw
said hi to
Shagsworth.
him.
I'm like, yo, Shags, what's up? Paul Hadouken. And he's like, oh yeah, what's up? Because the reason I didn't really like Nerdrotic or Ryan
didn't-
Kennel, I like they're
There was
not
a
going to
line to meet Gary, and I was like, I'm not waiting in that line.
right.
So. I saw
plus-
him, but I didn't talk to him.
Yeah, but I've not popped in. Like I haven't been in their chats long enough for them to even recognize my name, you know. So I was like, I'm not gonna say anything because they don't know who I am, you know.
Yeah.
But like Shags knows who I am because
Okay.
of side scrollers and
I said hi to him, but I was like, you probably have no idea who I am because I don't think
Right
I've ever
on.
even been on his channel, but I just know him because he's related to our sphere.
In the sphere for sure, yeah. So I just said what's up to him real quick. Other than that, anyone that I didn't know, I didn't really talk to. Other than people that like recognize me that I don't know their faces because
They're
I
just
don't
names in chat.
their names in chat. So a serious man was
Yep.
he was live streaming and he came up to me and I was like, yo, a serious man, let's go. What's up? Who else did I meet at the place? I met finally Horror Amarada
and Sheepsidian.
Sheepsidian, but they were getting married. Everyone was saying hi to them.
Yeah, I said hi to them. I didn't talk to them, but I said hi.
I saw them again the next day. Oh yeah, because Friday, I think during the day they wanted to do like a Fremont Street kind of like hangout with Sheepsidian and Horror, and it kind of happened. They showed up for a second, and then for some reason, we followed them all the way. They were like, all right, they showed up. They had some cupcakes. We had some cupcakes, and they're like, all right, we're actually going to go back real quick and meet up with like family, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do this properly. But no one heard them when they said that, and they started walking away. And a whole crowd of people just started following them. We followed them through a casino to the other side of the casino, and they turned around like, "Oh, guys, we're going to do something real quick with family." And it was just a line of like we didn't know what was going on. I'm mad because they were closer to them, so they should have known what was going on. I was in the far back group, so we're like, "Oh, we see them. We're following them over there." But after that, I'm like, all right, let me know when this actually happens. I'm going back to the hotel. We ended up spending like an hour just standing around and waiting for things to happen. That was kind of like the one downside of things. It's hard to coordinate so many people and so many things.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody who's trying to coordinate everything and get everyone together. But you know how people are. It's really hard to rely on what certain groups and expect other groups to be ready and all that stuff. So there was a periods where we're like, all right, we're waiting on this one person so that we could go, or we're waiting on whatever so we could go. And I feel like a couple people were like, well, I'm just gonna go do my own thing, and I ended up doing that a couple times where I'm like, y'all are waiting for something, I'm good, I'll just go wander around or something like that. So it was still fun. Yeah, man, it was so great meeting everyone and meeting new people, man, and meeting people that like kind of know each other, but we don't really talk too much. But now that I've met them in person, it's like, all right, we're cool now.
There was a ton of people I met and talked to briefly who are like, don't have channels of their own, but I'm like, oh, I know your name. I've seen your name all over the place. Tons of like, oh, I know that name, and I know that name, and I know that name. So that was cool, just getting to meet so many people. Dude, Thursday was so much fun.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Friday I drove back, but you were still there. So give me a quick little brief recap of Friday, and then you flew back on Saturday, right?
Yes, and it wasn't until Saturday night, so I had a whole Saturday there too.
So give me a quick little recap of Friday and Saturday.
Okay, so I kind of explained a good chunk of the earlier days, the earlier time, like afternoon, mid-after, or a little, late afternoon. I think around 3 p.m. is when we tried to meet up with, like I said, on Fremont Street with Horror and Sheepsidian. we kind of spent an hour just standing around waiting, had some cupcakes, and yeah. So I told you that part. Afterwards, I went back to the hotel, and kind of was waiting on things to happen. I am trying to figure out what else happened. I think from there I just kind of hung around, got some food. That night I think was the karaoke night.
What time did you guys go to karaoke about?
Oh, that was also the night Dermy was doing Ball Busters.
Okay.
So I think Dermy did Ball Busters. We all chilled in Iron Oxide's room. So he had a big room with a couch, and a bunch of us were hanging. That's what we did. Yeah. So so as Dermy and all of them were getting ready to head out to the Salty Nerd podcast studio.
They did Ballbusters from Salty Nerd.
Yep, they did
Oh, cool.
Ballbusters over there. Yep. And so we kind of just hung out in Iron Oxide's room, also at the Oasis. He was on the first floor, I was on the third, so it was right there. And yeah, a bunch of us were hanging out in there as they were getting ready. They got up and left to go to the studio, and we stayed in there and waited for them to start the show, and we watched the show.
Oh, you guys watched it from the hotel
all
room?
together. Yeah,
Nice.
It was a lot of fun because it was a group of us just laughing about what they're potentially going to talk about and what they did end up talking about. So we're sitting there texting. We're all on our phones, writing into chat while they're doing the show. We're all laughing, having a good time. It was a lot of fun Friday night. And then we waited for them to finish the show, get back.
I gotta go watch that. I didn't watch that Ballbusters, so I'm
Yeah,
put that on my playlist.
yeah. They mention they do the full story of that video I showed you of when Dermy gets harassed by that nice lady. There's more pictures and story from what I explained, but you'll get the gist of it, and some other great stories. Dom has one of the funniest. Brad, Duke Devil, and Dom have and Shaka have one of the best stories on that when they went to the Trump Tower and they got like the Zillionaire drink. It's like this whiskey that comes in a smoked box, and it costs $90 a glass.
Oh my goodness! All right, I just added my playlist, so I'll probably watch it either tonight or tomorrow.
Definitely check it out, and that story is great. Dom's hilarious. I love.
Hey,
Dom.
what's up, Lowest Expectations? We mentioned you earlier because it's been great having you on a bunch of top fives recently. So good evening, good sir.
Good evening, sir. But yeah, definitely check out that that podcast. So yeah, when they got back,
was Ballbusters at its usual time or around that, or was it like super late? Or
no, I think it was 9 o'clock of Pacific time, which I think usually
later, but I think it usually starts at 8. But
yeah,
that's about normal time. Okay,
because I think he usually does Ballbusters at like 9 Central time.
Oh,
so I think he usually does it he does it a little early. So it was a little later, I believe. Yeah. And so yeah, we waited for them to get back. And then we got food and then got ready to go to the karaoke bar. That's where the video of the wrestlers we saw on the way to the karaoke bar. Yeah, we just kind of wandered around because we went to the karaoke bar, but then people weren't there. So then they went to this other like nerd bar that was like right there. They're just bar hopping from one place to another. Then we all eventually ended up back at Cat's Meow, which is that's the place, the karaoke bar. And it was kind of uneventful, kind of eventful if you're in the right crowd. But nobody got to do their karaoke because when we all got there, it's like, yeah, it's going to be about an hour and a half wait before anyone could sing. So and it was already pretty late when we arrived. So
yeah, I was gonna say, what time did you guys get there for karaoke?
I want to say like maybe 10, 11. And yeah, by the time the first group of people got in and started putting their names down, they're like, yeah, an hour and a half wait, and no one got to sing any songs. And also the MC, the guy that's like running the karaoke show and all that, he was really dragging because between songs he would do a song. It's like why are you making this about you? Although Vagabond's not upset because that's why he got to go do his Mexican square dance. Vagabond was sitting there waiting for that song to play. He's a weirdo. He's black, but he's more Mexican and white than anybody. It's funny because we made a joke. Ryan Kennel is more black than Vagabond, and Vagabond's more white than Ryan Kennel.
That's funny.
Because Ryan Kennel's singing all the hip hop songs into the crowd and all that, and Vagabond shoots out of his chair the second this Mexican square dance song starts playing. I swear, I'm like looking over at his direction, violins start playing, and he like a cartoon dust cloud just choo. And I'm like, what's going on? Because right before all that, there was some weird stuff going on with I met Vaughn, who is a comic book artist.
Okay, yeah, I met him.
Vaughn's awesome, and Theo, which is ironic. Theo and Vaughn, Theo Vaughn, the comedian, and which Theo is a comedian. Theo Snodgrass. He has that Touching Grass with Theo. He has a podcast that he does.
Okay.
And he does comedy. He's actually moving out to Vegas.
Okay, I met him as well then, yeah.
Yeah, very cool dudes. And so those two were on a mission to find girls. And Theo tells Vaughn to. So Theo says this story that he told Vaughn to go away and find some girls so that he could talk with Iron Oxide, talk to his bro about some serious stuff. So apparently Vaughn goes out, chats up some girls, and then when we're just hanging out at the karaoke bar, this tall, bald white guy in like a Tommy Bahama shirt, looking like a dad from Florida in his like 60s, walks up to Vaughn and says, the girl you were talking to would like for you to buy her a drink. And I was like, that's weird. And he was very pushy. He was just very pushy about it. I'm like, what is going on? So Vaughn is like, wait, that's not me. My boy Theo wanted to talk to some girls. So he grabs Theo, and then they follow this older gentleman to his table. Before he grabbed Theo, the older gentleman looked at me and was like, is that your boy? And I'm like, nah. First of all, what Florida-looking dad in his 60s says, is that your boy, if he's not like mafia or something? Something was off about this guy. He was pushy. Apparently, and then as they walked away, he said something to Vaughn, because Vaughn's like 27. He says something, you're too young for that kind of stuff. And I'm like, what is happening? And then they just walk off into the distance. And I'm like, what was that? And Professor Savage Dad's right next to me. And I was like, what the heck was that all about? And he goes, I think that dude was a pimp. Things are clicking. I'm like, okay. So I find Iron and Selena, which are the locals, so they may know about this kind of stuff. Unfortunately, at that moment, Iron Oxide is pretty getting plastered there, so he's a little useless in this situation. But he tries to, get serious. He's like, show me what table they're at. So I lead them to the table that they're at. He tells Vagabond to walk with him because, I don't know, black guy I need as a backup. I don't know. I think Iron said that.
Here, come look intimidating for me.
Yes, I think so. While he's like, and Vagabond's like, I wonder if that guy saw me do the Mexican square dance after he saw me try to be intimidating 2 minutes beforehand. So Iron goes to the table they're at, intervenes, but doesn't really help because suddenly Theo is leaving the table with one of the girls. And that is when we're like, this is definitely a prostitute and a pimp playing some tourists, and Vaughn or Theo thinks that he's just meeting some girl, and we are just like making sure that he doesn't do anything dumb or try to leave with this girl, because he may not end up with his liver or kidneys. He may end up in a bathtub with stitches, missing a liver and kidneys. We were worried about this guy. So that was the most interesting part about Friday night. That was very a trip to watch, because being from Chicago, you kind of notice like little shady things here and there, and I'm like, something about this is off. Like, listen, Theo, if you're trying to pick up girls, and I didn't get a weird vibe from that older dude, which is clearly where this girl was at this dude's table. It just felt all wrong, and I feel like we may have saved Theo's life, or a kidney or a liver or something like that. But man, Vegas has gotten a dark underbelly, and
I'm sure it does. I mean, the whole city was started by the mob.
exactly. So definitely some underbelly of Vegas shining there in that story. I was like, man, if we didn't, Theo is mad at all of us because he thinks that we blocked him, and we're like, no, we didn't block you from anything. If I'm telling you, if that old guy just didn't show up at all, I'd be like, go for it, buddy, have fun, maybe see a doctor afterwards. But that old dude was pushy, shady, and I'm pretty sure all of these people, the guy and the two girls, all the girls he was with, all Eastern European, very shady, and yeah. So that was Friday. We all went home after that because we needed to.
And did you do anything on Saturday before you left?
So yeah, Saturday was actually also pretty cool and a little more chill. Woke up. I had to wake up extra early because I was sharing a room with Kratos, and Kratos was leaving at 8 a.m. So he was like, "I'm out." It's like, if you got to be out by that time too. I'm like, no problem. And so I just kind of hung out by the hotel as everyone was leaving, said bye to Kratos, Professor, Gal. Dom was leaving. I had a fun conversation with Dom as he was leaving because I love Dom because Dom always looks so worried, and he's just got that New York accent, but his eyebrows always look so puppy dog. It's like, yeah, I'm like, Dom, stop looking so worried, because he was like standing there. He's like, I don't know if I should order my Uber now or later. I'm like, do what you got to do, but stop looking so worried, because that's how these people are gonna get you. These people are gonna scheme you.
Always look like you know what you're doing.
Always exactly. So I told Dom, I'm like, Dom, stop looking so worried and act like you belong. So he went from like looking like, you mean like this, and he arched his eyebrows and folded his arms. I'm like, there you go, Dom. Now you got it. And apparently his brother is MCU fan.
Oh, that's right. I did learn that. I thought they were
Yeah.
joking, but no, legitimately. That's
Yeah,
his
apparently
brother.
his brother is MCU fan, and apparently his brother is the opposite of him. So
I didn't
Dom's
meet
the-
MCU fan, but
I
I
didn't
do
meet-
know the name.
Yeah, I didn't meet him either, but apparently Dom's the worried one, and MCU fan is the one that, you know, the opposite. So I'm like, you need to be more like you know what you're doing, like you belong. So I love Dom, and I couldn't ask for a better person to replace me on your show, because that guy's great. I love him. But the rest of Saturday, yeah, I watched a bunch of people just leave Saturday morning, and then there was like waves of because shout out to Iron Oxide and Selena. They were driving people to the airport all day. They are awesome. They were the mom and dad of the group, even though they were Iron was being pretty irresponsible the night before at the karaoke bar. I thought he was helping Vaughn get out of things. He was buying them drinks and making it worse. I'm like, we think that lady is the lady of the night. Stop it. We don't want him ending up with no kidneys.
Encouraging us.
Yeah, he was encouraging everything. We had to tell him what he was doing the next day. But yeah, so after everyone left, I ran into Selena as she was giving some people rides, and I'm like, I'm here till literally midnight. I had all Saturday to spend before my flight. So I'm like, I gotta find something to do. Luckily, Vagabond also had a late night flight. His flight was at like 10:30, 11, and we both were flying Frontier, so we had to be pretty much at the same spot around the same time. So Selena did her first rounds of driving people to the airport around like early morning, and then around afternoon she came back, and like group B and C, because there was like another group that needed to go to the airport around 3, another group that needed to go, or we were the last group, and we left around like six-ish. So yeah, I spent.
Fortunately, the airport was not too far.
It wasn't too far, and luckily, I had someone to still hang out with, because like I said, we went at 6, and I still had like 6 more hours till my flight. But for the first half of the day, it was actually pretty fun, because we all had breakfast at this like Irish pub, and just kind of were recalling the night before. Theo was there, Vaughn was there, and we're like, you guys almost died yesterday. Theo was in denial. We had to keep like checking him, like, no man, this is what's really, that was what he didn't want to believe it. Theo's still, he thinks he's in love and that we ruined things for him. But yeah, the breakfast was a lot of fun. We just hung out, and then there was a funny moment too where Theo had he's not much of a pothead like me, but he had gummies and he had a joint. And so oh no, I think it was Friday night. Oh yeah, the night before, on Friday night, he smoked with me and Vagabond. He's like, I just want to smoke with Vagabond. I want to say that because apparently he's a stoner as well, but living in Georgia, he doesn't get to enjoy the medicinal herbs. So the next day during the breakfast, Theo had a whole bag of gummies. He's like, I'm leaving for the airport now. Here you go, Vagabond. And Vagabond took one gummy and gave the rest to another one of his buddies, which shout out to the new Black Street. They're another, I think they're comic book guys as well. And Atreus and Kyra, I think it's Kaya. Two other guys, and Vagabond gave the rest of gave the rest of the gummies to those two, and then we went back to Iron and Selena's room, and just kind of hung out there for a while as Iron sobered up, and Selena was driving Group B to the airport, and the rest of us were just kind of just chilling. And we're chilling, and Vagabond's going like, yo, this gummy is amazing. And he started to just fade away. He's like, oh man. He's like, that was just one. He's like, maybe I should warn those guys that I gave the gummies to not have more than one. So Selena gets a call from those Atreus and Kai, and I don't want to be butchering his name. Is it Kai or Kyra? Anyways, and she's on the phone with them, and she's like, "Wait, where are you? Where are you?" Kata. His name's Kata.
Okay, Kata, gotcha.
Kata, sorry, Kata and Atreus. They shout out. They do the channel, the New Black Street, on YouTube, and more comic book focused and stuff. And so Vagabond is trying to get a hold of them, trying to tell them don't eat more than one gummy. And Selena's on the phone with them trying to explain to them where we are. And I'm like, that's not a good sign that they keep calling trying to ask where we are at, because yeah. So I started doing some math. I'm like, all right, there was 10 originally in the bag. Theo ate one the first day. Vagabond had one. That means there's 8 left. We don't know how that was distributed or anything. So they finally make it to the hotel, and we immediately ask, like, guys, did you eat any of those gummies? And Kata's like, yeah, Atreus had some. Atreus, how many did you have? 6.
Oh my gosh.
He was knocked out. Selena has a great picture of him just on the couch at the hotel, like we're waiting for the next group to go to the airport. He's just like knocked out, sleeping the whole time. But there was one moment that just had me dying laughing. He kind of came to for a second. There was some snacks on the table, and he just looked over at the table, pointed to a bag of Doritos, and he said, "Are those bag of chips real?" I'm like, as opposed to what? Fake? Not real? What did
that's funny.
So 6 gummies. Yeah. So he was, and even when we all, because Atreus, who took 6 gummies, was on the exact same flight as Vagabond. They learned that they're both from Atlanta and they're on the same Frontier flight. And we like up until they called to their gate, he's at the airport terminal, same thing, just still recovering. Oh man, gummies are dangerous. They're not like smoking. Gummies will wreck your day. You better hope you have nothing going on the rest of your day, because gummies, they are something. So that was Saturday, even though it was just chill and kind of hanging out and waiting for, just killing time until we had to go to the airport, but it was still eventful. I was still dying laughing and having fun. So right up until the moment of getting on the plane, luckily, like I said, I got to hang out with Vagabond and Atreus until like an hour or a half hour before my flight. And I just sat at the airport the rest of the day, just scrolling. A lot of stuff was going on Twitter. We were sharing pictures and all that that Friday or that Saturday and Sunday. Even Easter the next day, I kept popping on Twitter and everyone's talking about the whole week and stuff. So it was quite an event. I cannot wait for the next one. And man, it is so fun to meet the people that you speak to and you see their faces, but to shake their hands, to give them a hug, to hang out, to let loose. Man, it's been a minute since I've done that. I haven't done that since like playing in a band, however many years it's been already. But it felt like a college dorm because so many people were at that hotel. We would party all night, go to sleep, wake up. They're all right there either in the Gold Spike, the bar, the hotel bar, or out in the back. Or the one thing I'm mad about is there was a pool there and I didn't even get to go swimming.
I brought my swimsuit just in case, but I never went swimming either.
I wanted to go swimming, but other than that, so much fun, man. Vegas itself is such a weird place, but the fun times that I had over that week, now I have a fond memory of the place. So I'll try to ignore the homeless pissing into the streets and think more about all the fun that I had with all the people I met.
Yeah, it was a really fun week. So I hope I'll be able to make it back for the next one. I just have no idea whether that'll be feasible next year or not.
Or whatever the next meetup is. I mean, I think the next FNT is supposed to be like Dallas or Houston, but like next month, May, and I'm like, oh, that's too soon. But if there's like another one later in the year, Florida, I think they do, or whatever. I'd be really interested to see, what the who's going and what the plan is. But man, I if Vegas is kind of like this next year, or whatever meetup. Any meetup that's kind of like this, where they have a plan to stay at the same place and do some stuff during the week, I'm all for it. Because it's just fun. It's good times.
It was fun. So, all right. Well, thanks for coming on tonight and just chatting, kind of recalling the adventures of a fun week.
Yes.
So,
how long have we been going? Over 2 hours?
Just over 2.5.
Oh, right on. Yes, nice. I didn't even realize what time it was.
Yeah, I have the timer up at the top, shows how long the stream is going. But
there it is.
Paying attention to the time.
I have not paid attention yet. We're almost at 2:40.
8:40. I mean, like the actual time. It's like it's 8:45.
Yeah, right on.
But thank you for joining me. It was great having you back on again.
Properly this time.
Yeah, proper open mic.
Dang it.
So, for anyone out there, go sub to Paul if you aren't. I'm sure you probably are all sub to Paul, but if not, go give him a sub.
Heck yeah.
But I had a great time chatting with you and getting to meet you and hang out with you last week. That was a blast.
That was a blast. Absolutely. Big thank you so much for the rides to the shooting place and for picking me up from the airport. I owe you big time. Hell yeah.
It was fun. So But yeah, with that'll wrap it up for tonight's open mic and for this week of streaming. But I'll be back next week with the regularly scheduled programming. So, but last thing here is I'm like I mentioned earlier, I bet Paul's going to, but I'm heading over to the Melee Games channel for their Melee Madness.
Super
So,
Sega.
Go watch.
I need to know what's going on with the Super Sega. Are they talking about the Super Sega?
I don't know, but that's where I'm headed. So I just dropped the link in chat for Paul's channel and the link to, because I can't actually raid
Right.
on YouTube because I'm not monetized, which is the stupidest thing ever. I should be able to raid even if not monetized, but
Right.
that's the link to go watch Melee Madness. That's where I'm going to head. So thank you
That's
everyone
right.
for hanging out for another great episode of Open Mic and a great chat. All you guys in chat, and thank you again, Paul, for joining me for another great discussion.
Check out the Company Boys this Saturday and Sunday.
Yes.
We'll be doing something or other. I don't know. Beelzebub on Friday nights and Hump Day Chinwag over on Tommy's channel on Wednesdays. That's where you can find me.
Cool.
Hell
So,
yeah.
All right. We all have a good night. We will see you later. And as always, in the meantime, game on.
Game on.